Oh my, it looks brand new. Saves us painting, and we get compliments even today about how nice it looks and everything.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, I'm Piper. Here's my deal. I want the best for the least. Right now, Bill Estes Chevy has 30 pre-owned vehicles priced less than $14,700. Ask for Piper's pre-owned deal to get $3,000 more for your trade. Want something brand new? The Equinox is $7,000 off, and at this price, we can't keep them on the lot. If we don't have exactly what you want, pre-order your Equinox to lock in Piper's price. $7,000 off. $7,000 off and $3,000 more for your trade? Now my deal is your deal at Bill Estes Chevy. I-465 and Michigan Road, the friendliest intersection in Indy.
Denny Smith here. It's spring and time to get gardening with Sundown Gardens. They have everything to transform your outdoor space. Their greenhouses are bursting with color from annuals and hanging baskets. Brighten your patios and landscape with their fresh inventory of trees, shrubs, annuals, and tropicals. They have great selection of perennials and Japanese maples, vegetables, and herbs too. Sundown Gardens experts can help with gardening questions no matter how tricky. Sundown Gardens has earned a reputation for quality. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
I remember the very first day that I walked into the showroom and was blown away.
After 28 years as a jewelry professional, Jenny Irvin thought she'd seen everything until she walked through the doors at Diamonds Direct.
Beautiful showroom, beautiful pieces of jewelry. The atmosphere in there was just amazing. It grabbed a hold of me, and I've not looked back.
Jenny discovered that at Diamonds Direct, she could offer her customers so much more than any place she'd ever worked in the past.
Oh my goodness, the selection, the showcases filled full of designers that I had heard of, but never had the privilege of ever working with. We did not have those designers.
And when you combine that with one of the largest selections of GIA certified diamonds in America, it's truly mind-blowing.
When a guest comes into our store, the selection is immeasurable. If there is a design that they're looking for, we can find it. If you walk into Diamonds Direct, there is no reason to shop elsewhere. We have it all.
And Jenny should know, after 28 years, now she's seen it all. Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan.
From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is Brendan King with your 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan track update. It's brought to you by the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions, reminding you that when driving in construction zones, to read the signs, slow down, and pay attention. 1,090 laps have been turned so far this afternoon on day 2 of practice for the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Marcus Erickson still the top speed out of anybody at 226.007. What a turnaround as well for Sebastian Bourdais. He's got the 4th best speed so far today at 225.491 mph. Yesterday, his car caught fire on the right side as he was leaking oil out of the exhaust. So a nice turnaround for Sebastian. The track temp has been as high as 97 degrees today. The sun has been out. Now cloud coverage over the speedway. Brendan King, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
VAC Commercial Facility Solutions is seeking new talent. If you're an experienced commercial, industrial, HVAC technician, plumber, or sewer and drain specialist and want to join a fast-growing, well-established, opportunity-filled company, VAC is for you. Have a true work-life balance with full benefits and profit sharing as part of a dynamic and energetic team. Call VAC Commercial Facility Solutions at 317-873-2512. That's VAC, 317-873-2512, or go to vac.com.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get late.
And again, it's picked off. It's Darius Leonard, a pick 6 for the Maniac. Touchdown, INDY. Yes, sir.
Sabonis down the lane with authority. John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome in. We get to talk some good stuff about the Pacers from last night. I know some of you are going to go, it's a play-in game. Oh, they get another one to get in, and when they get in, or if they get in, they're going to take a beating by Philly. All of that is probably true. But I will tell you this. You look at the numbers, television numbers on TNT locally last night, and a lot of you that have told me that you have checked out and you're not watching and you don't care, by God, you checked out and checked in and watched last night and cared a little bit. You did. That's the highest rated Pacers game of the season last night. So, yeah, you guys do care, and part of it is this, and I do realize it. Part of it is there are a lot of you out there that on the reg, like some of us, you don't get to watch them because you got whatever hosing you're getting from your television provider. You've cut the cord, and you call and you ask me, hey, what should I do? And I got nothing as far as DirecTV. I mean, they'd screw me just like they'd screw you and wouldn't care about it 1 ounce. But I utilize that so I can watch the Pacers, so I have those channels, so I can watch the Reds. Reds, Cubs, White Sox. That's why I have it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why else I have it. There's 1,000 channels on there. I don't even know what half of them are, and they scrubbed Skinamax about 10 years ago. I should have dumped this thing 10 years ago. So if not for the Pacers and the Reds, as soon as they wiped out Skinamax, I should, hey, I'm done. That wasn't their call, but you guys tuned in last night. And, I mean, when you think about it, too, and it was unfortunate because I like watching Chris and Quinn and JJ and Eddie. They are friends of this show, and I like them a great deal. We'll talk to Chris coming up at the top of the hour. I love it. Chris got a little fiery last night. Chris got feisty on Twitter. And I love it because he got feisty with one of these nerds. What's his name? Nate Duncan? I don't like Nate Duncan in the first place. I think it's always good when you have a little fired up Denary when he's not doing the game, because he's already cross anyway, right? Because he's not doing the game. Like, this is the world that Chris Denary will bring up at the 4 o'clock hour. Like, a lot of us would go, hey, okay, day off. Woo! Denary just gets pissed. He goes, why am I not allowed to do it? Why are we not allowed to do it? We do it all year long, and then you have TNT swoop in with Spiro and Greg Anthony, and they're huffing and puffing for the entire game. I don't know. And that wasn't their fault, but I don't know who was in charge of the audio last night. It sounded like we were all watching from inside Darth Vader's mask or helmet. You can hear everything. Sometimes kind of like in here. Like I'll shut the mic off to sneeze or to do something else, or you can hear me blowing my nose or sneezing or coughing or whatever. Hell, you could hear all that last night. All of it. And why are they still doing that at home? Is everybody still doing it at home? Some are there, right? Or some, do they still do it on ESPN?
I guess think ESPN has been. I don't know for these play-in and playoffs.
Their marquee games they go to their marquees, right? Like
we'll find out tonight if they go to in-person games.
I mean, why don't you just go now? Can you not go?
I think TNT is doing it for cost cut measure.
Don't see, and that's what you don't want. As much as I talk about it, I dig doing TV with Hagan in my underwear at home on a Sunday night because I don't have to put on good clothes and then roll up to the Northwest Side, tape it, and then come back home. I do like doing that, but, man, you don't want these folks to become more cost conscious. And they go, hey, look what we can do. We can do this, and it really doesn't matter. I mean, last night it kind of mattered. I had to hear, it sounds like I was on the inside of somebody's nostril trying to watch and hear the game. I don't want to be inside somebody's nostril, especially Kevin Pillar's. Man, that guy, I'm telling you what. And he manned up and got in front of the camera. Got in front of the camera, and then that was pretty awesome. You imagine taking one at 94? Just right in the face. Now, obviously, I don't watch the Mets. I don't pay attention to the Mets. But that dude getting in front of a camera and answering questions and then taking the lineup card out to home plate yesterday, I thought that was pretty damn manly, to be honest with you. He was messed up. I mean, messed up. But, yeah, I mean, people were watching last night. People were watching last night, and again, it's because in large part you guys don't have the opportunity, if you've cut the cord, to see it. So it does still mean something. And like I said, I think it's easy to try to dismiss it or want to dismiss it or want to say you're not a fan of the NBA. I mean, deep down inside, you've been around this long enough to know that you had a casual interest, and maybe you bail on it coming up on Thursday if things go right. If you watch that Celtics-Wizards game, I mean, Westbrook and Beal in that game looked nothing like the guys we saw play against the Pacers. Nothing. Westbrook was a mess last night. And they kept talking about how, they put a bigger defender on him and all this. He just looked like a mess. Even when we got a wide open shot, he threw it over the damn basket like he needed glasses. Think the Pacers can be fortunate to get the Wizards looking like that 2 games in a row? Can you answer this question? Would it be fortunate? Would you describe it as being fortunate if that happened and they went into round number 1 against the Sixers? Is that good fortune for what this team needs and what is necessary by this team? I will always say this. I'm never going to be on board with I'm not going to root for a team to lose. Like, I don't actively sit there and pump my fist and you kind of got to keep an even keel going on there when you're watching it because you're going to talk about it. I like when things happen. You get excited about it. You get a little positivity rolling, and then you call in here and you listen and you dig it. Unlike when you do with negativity, you listen to it for about 15 minutes and you go, won't this guy shut up and stop complaining? And then you turn the channel. I don't know where the hell you're going, but you turn it. Then you're going to come back and fight. Then you're going to turn the channel and go, wait a minute. Well, everything else around here sucks. I got to get back there. So true, though. It is so true. Around here, you always do. You gravitate to the positive story where you can go, hey, those are my guys. You know what I mean? My guys, my team. And I'll be honest with you, especially if you, much like me, but I'm not owed anything. But if you were a Pacers fan, like Pacer Steve called yesterday, right? Pacer Steve, I think, made the call and said, this is what's going to happen. He was telling me to shut up. Now, I wasn't picking against the Pacers, but there's a great deal of doom and gloom. And again, I'm not going overboard here, so I don't need to hear from anybody saying, well, it was just Charlotte. I absolutely understand what it was last night, and we'll get more in-depth into it. But what I'm trying to tell you is for those fans that hung in throughout the season and had to sit through some of the more craptacular performances we have seen in a long time, that was nice for you. That was nice for you. And a shout-out to Doug McDermott, because Doug McDermott, the 4 threes in that first quarter, stuck a fork in Charlotte. They were done. I mean, he went whap, 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 whap side the head with threes, 4 of them in the first quarter, and it was lights out for the Hornets. I mean, 0 response. Then they had 0 response, and they absolutely went away. And yes, if you're saying, well, if went away equates to quitting, that was a team that looked to have been cool with being any place else than where they were, especially after those first 4 threes in that first quarter. It's like, all right, we're over. It's done. That would be disappointing to watch. I don't care what you say. I don't care if it's a good thing or a better thing for Charlotte. Talking about drafting position or whatever nerdery anybody wants to talk about further down the road, and I'm sure we'll dive into. But whatever the case, you don't want to see your team go out there and look like that. You don't want that, because that was awful. I mean, from top to bottom, awful. They had absolutely checked out, and you could tell, and I don't know about anybody else, I was glad the Pacers kept that proverbial hammer down. Good for them. I was almost disappointed with the Pacer defense for letting that team score 117. But 144 on the board. Yeah, see, I mean, they let Charlotte score 39 in the fourth. Bjorkgren should be raising hell about that. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing out there? 39 points in the fourth. 144 to 117. The highest rated Pacers telecast of the season was last night. So there are a lot of you. He was number one in the market last night, too. There are a lot of you watching. Good for you, too. It's okay. I know that happens often. I mean, I know I'll hear from you like email or tweets or calls, and you're raising your fist going, I'm never going to watch again, and I'm going to vow to never to watch until the Simons sell this team or whatever. And yeah, you end up watching. I don't blame you. I don't know what becomes of O'Shea Brissett, because this whole thing is kind of odd, right? I mean, it felt really good. It looked really good. And you as a fan deserved that last night. But I'm not quick to go too overboard on how longer-term meaningful that is. It'd be great. Man, the Pacers need to land rotational dudes that you just kind of find. We're talking about this constant treadmill of drafting here and, never having anybody. I mean, like Aaron Holiday was still bad last night. Did you see Aaron Holiday? It was a struggle. Whew. But Holiday, and you go back to Leaf, and you're still waiting on Goga. I mean, you where you drafted, you've not had the opportunity to go after. And, where they draft, you have to hit on somebody. You have to get fortunate on somebody. It'd be great if they got fortunate on O'Shea Brissett, but I can't sit here and tell you that they have or they will. I mean, last night was fun to watch. Last night was enjoyable for a season that in all hasn't really been that enjoyable, if at all. But I don't really think it gives us much of a gauge as to, this translates to that. Kyle and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, and I know I brought this up regarding T.J. McConnell, how he has raised his off-season market value. Some of you disagree because he does not have that conventional this-era three-point shot, but you feel pretty good now when he gets in the lane and either makes something happen or fades away from about 10 that shot's going to go in. And, man, I know 3's better than 2, but 2's all right, too. I'll take 2. 3 is better than 2. We can't argue that mathematically. But it feels pretty good when McConnell gets in the lane, fades away, and knocks in that 2. The other guy is Doug McDermott. And it's kind of funny. You watched last night, and the first thing Kyle said to me is, man, he probably raised his market value a little bit. With the 4 threes, and, that was a game that was on last night, and if you're in the NBA and you had interest, you were watching. And that was the good thing about it. Or in this case, maybe the bad thing about it. But I will tell you this about Doug McDermott. No matter what we talk about with this team and whether or not guys like the offense of Nate Bjorkgren or don't like it, besides McConnell, but if there has been a player that has benefited the most from this, has been Doug McDermott. Doug McDermott's prior stops were Chicago and Oklahoma City. Where else was he? New York. So predominantly wherever he has gone, they have stuck him out on the wing or in the corner, and somebody drives and kicks it out to you if they think about kicking it out to you.
Chicago, OKC, the Knicks, Dallas for 1 year, and then the Pacers for the last 3.
So he could not find a niche, and this is not like an O'Shea Brissett where he's floating around. He was a 12-point scorer, in college, and, he was just floating around with availability. I mean, this is a first-round pick. But he has really shown what he can do in a Pacer uniform, and I think he's shown a lot of folks what a lot of folks didn't think he could do. And that is move without the basketball and drive and finish. I swear to you, if you watch the times, it's not like I had a singular focus on him, but if you watch the times when he was in Dallas or Chicago with the Knicks, I mean, you're in the corner. It's like how OKC wanted to use Sabonis. No wonder OKC felt that Sabonis was easily expendable back when he came here with Oladipo for Paul George, because when he went into those games, he kind of sat out on the perimeter. Now, granted, I mean, all these teams want these big guys to be a threat from distance, but you just kind of sat him out there, and that's what happened to McDermott. It was only this year, and wasn't it really last year? I mean, only this year when McDermott, you kind of had your eyes open about this guy off the dribble, and he works well with a little two-man game with Sabonis. There's no question about that. And either driving, not so much driving with the basketball, but off the move, off the pass, occasionally off the bounce, finishing at the rim. I don't know if there's anybody else in the NBA that knows that he does that besides us. I sure as hell don't think anybody else in the NBA knew he was capable of doing that prior to this year. So if you're looking for somebody that has responded, that has benefited from Nate Bjorkgren in year number 1, and I talk about McConnell all the time, but McDermott is right there. I thought to me last night, and this was, people are going to call it conventional that don't know, but last night, that first quarter was unconventional. I mean, normally he's getting his going to the basket. But last night, he buried the Hornets in that first quarter. I mean, he put a lot of quit that we saw in that Hornets team. The rest of the game was by virtue of the shot-making ability of McDermott in the first quarter. Because, I mean, he smacked them around in that first quarter, and their three-point defense is pretty awful, too. I talk about the Pacers on the perimeter being bad defensively. Holy crap. Charlotte. They're bad. That just looked like a team. That looked like a team after that first quarter that said, hey, I'm ready to get the hell out of Dodge. And they had lost 5 straight going into that game anyway, so it's not like they were, quote, hitting on all cylinders. It'd be like the TNT broadcast last night. Man, that is tough, though. That is tough. You got one person at home, the other person at home. Have we gotten used to the delayed reactions on TV?
I hate it.
I hate it, too.
It absolutely blows.
I absolutely hate it. It's weird. The delayed reaction, it'll be like a second and a half later. Oh, you know what I mean? And gets excited about it. I think we're all a little bit over the delayed reaction. I'm not a big fan of the storytelling over the – now you have to do that on TV, too. You have to do that when there's a game like what we saw last night. But, you're telling a story that's so long that they run up and down the floor 3 different times. You got to catch up on everything. Kind of sucks. But I guess we see it. A little more difficult when you're doing it on the radio, I guess. But we do see it at least. Anyway, we can talk about that if you like. Sabonis, 14 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists. Man, Lance Stevenson would have somebody's ass today if he didn't get that 10th assist. I can tell you that. Lance would be wanting to get back in the game. Hey, somebody put me back in the game here. Come on. You think they should have left him in to get that final assist?
It's not worth the bang up.
Can somebody down? Was my man Dave George and they're a great stat crew down there? Could they just not? Yeah. Well, here's one. That's close enough.
Well, I mean, nowadays, an assist, if you throw it to a guy and he holds it for 5 seconds, they still give it to you.
Can I blame David George? I don't think he keeps those stats, but I love David George, and he knows that. Just maybe get him a extra assist. Find something somewhere. Wait a minute. That wasn't a steal. Wait a minute. That wasn't a block. That was an assist. Yeah, what more? Yeah, that was the one thing. We got the fiery Denary last night on Twitter. And it's kind of funny, too, because there are a couple of different times, and I say I do this all the time, and I don't know if it's good or it's bad, but it's a lesson learned, and I'd still screw this up at any time. But I'll actually write something up in the tweet, and I'll sit there and think about it, and I'll think about how it's going to be taken and or interpreted, and then think about it a little bit more. Then normally I end up just kind of deleting it. They're like a couple of different things. So I don't like Nate Duncan is an analytics guy that works with John Hollinger. They're both numbers analytics NBA guys, and they certainly have a great deal of following. I mean, hell, I think Hollinger worked for the Grizzlies at some point in time. I think they decided that maybe it wasn't great, and they parted ways with me. I believe that's how it went. But at one point in time, he got a gig. He used to be an ESPN.com writer, but he and Hollinger worked together. And Nate Duncan, for the big time Pacer fans around here, has never been a fan favorite. See, our friend Alex Golden, let's get him on tomorrow, too. I was thinking about him today. And I got to mow my yard early this morning, and I forgot to call you. See if we get Alex on tomorrow. He said, don't be surprised if Charlotte throws a good contract offer to Doug. They could also be a team that tries to trade for Miles. They have $28.8 million in cap space. We were talking yesterday about what, Alex, if you're listening right now, what do you think McConnell commands on the open market? What kind of contract do you think he's going to get? Would wanting to come back here and having, two best years of his career, and especially the best year of his career, carry any weight whatsoever? Is McConnell as good someplace else as he is here? Is McDermott, and I made the point to describe McDermott and how he has been with 4 other teams compared to how he has been here. It's just different.
I think McConnell's game translates to any team. What he does defensively with his steals and how he's so good at distributing the ball in the lane, I think that translates anywhere. McDermott, I think he's more reliant on not playing with a ball-dominant guard. So he has room for those dribble handoffs where he can drive the lane with the layup.
He and Sabonis are pretty good out there together.
They have a good chemistry, yeah.
They do. I like a little two-man game. I can't lie. I just get kind of tired watching. I never really was digging on the moving without the basketball philosophy there. But McDermott does. And that's something I'm sure the rest of the NBA knows. I should give them more credit than I'm giving them right now. But clearly there are like 3 or 4 teams prior to the Pacers. And really, Nate McMillan, too. I mean, there are a bunch of people that didn't realize what he could do without just setting him up in the corner on the wing. This guy can move and score and finish, which I think most of the NBA, if anybody was paying attention, just kind of found out this year. All right. We can hit that at 239-1070. Email address at jmv at 1070thefan.com. When are we going to get Justin Bieber tickets to give away? Is that coming? It's Justin Bieber, April 21st, 2022. Bieber. We do have corn tickets for you today. JMV, I doubt you can play the audio with it being TNT, but Ernie commenting on the Charlotte players shooting a 3 from shooting the three from the effing field house and coming out from the effing field house is quite good comedy. And it was Rozier that he really didn't have to beat the clock right then, did he? Was it Graham?
It was Devontae Graham.
Yeah, it was Graham, yeah. He didn't have to beat the clock, but he did, and he knocked it down. Those shots always go in against the Pacers, don't they? I mean, shots like that seemingly always go in.
They seemingly have bad luck per se, yeah.
We'll talk about that. We'll work in some calls coming up. I mentioned Denary, who was feisty last night. I like a good feisty Denary. Not only do we have a feisty Denary with Nate Duncan last night, but we had a Denary that clearly was doing some landscaping up in Carmel today. So he may be a little extra robust for this show in the 4 o'clock hour, and for that I can't wait. Bowen in the 5 o'clock hour. Saw Paris Campbell speaking with the media, says he's good to go and back. I hope so. Again, do you trust it? You simply cannot until you see it, and then you see it consistently. But is that a big deal? And I don't want to hear everybody out there, oh, JMV, yeah, you said they should get all these wide receivers. Hey, look, Campbell's healthy. I think everybody by now understands my point. My point's just not made yanking it out of my rear and making it up. It was made with thought in mind. It has been an issue for 2 years running. And the point is, if you haven't seen him for a consistent period of time, can you trust it? I say you can't until you see it. Hey, I'd be hopeful because that guy could be a big deal if healthy for this team. And I hope that he is. Hope that he is. So would you go see Justin Bieber?
Nah, not
would your
my
wife?
Type. She probably would. I wouldn't want to go. Not my type of music.
Hey, if you told everybody, by the way, we're both taking off on Friday. I'm going to Greene County on Friday. I've got to take my mom someplace, so I'm going to GC. Kyle's a little bit different. So I'm going, how does this work? I'm going to Greene County, and Kyle Udemark is going to, with Morgan.
I'm going to a Caribbean island. Little R&R.
Yeah.
It's just like Greene County.
Yeah, it is.
It'd be the same weather, I think, actually.
Yeah, my mom's got a creek right behind her house. That is one thing my mom actually had. Over the years, there's a nice waterfall. Like people create their own waterfalls and water features in their backyard. I always took this for granted. We just have one, it's there. You know, like a big waterfall. I say big. I just don't know how many people are taking whizzes in the creek and just coming down there. I don't know if I'm going to go hang out under the waterfall like I'm Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue and Cocktail. I hate to have one of the Hazes up there taking a whiz and me and Liz Shue down there making out under the waterfall. A couple of cows. It's not the same as a Caribbean island. Were you going to St. Lucia? God dang. See, that sounds like a Connecticut water question of the day. Does it seem fair to you that I go to Greene County on Friday while Kyle Udemark goes to St. Lucia? I don't know. That's absolutely fantastic. All right, Ryan, you can lead on the other side. We'll jump in with whatever you guys want to talk about. I mentioned Corn and Stain tickets for the 28th of August at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. I have that for you. Brad Paisley, one of the most popular country music artists. Do we still say country and western? Or does that mean that you have to be Johnny Cash or Merle Haggard or Willie Nelson to say country and western? Is Brad Paisley bro country bro?
I don't think so. No, he's not with that new school type of country.
He's popular, though. We got tickets for that show coming up the 31st of July, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. So that's all good. Looks like things are starting to crack open a little bit more. I'm really excited about it. Those red legs do a little bit of something for me. I want to be able to hang with them, but It's been rather difficult the last two nights for real. You get Wade Miley, who threw the no-no. I used to go, Wade Miley, God. And Kevin Gossman is 3-0 for the Giants. He's been awesome this year. Red Legs and Giants. White Sox and Twins this afternoon. Bottom of 8, White Sox 2, Twins 1. I don't know if that whole thing is just going to go away there. I will say this. There always are some really good quotes when you're talking about an old crotchety dude like Tony La Russa in responding to what Lance Lynn from Brownsburg had to say about all that 3-0 swinging, hitting a home run, against a 47-mile-an-hour position player pitch or whatever, and everybody's all whining and crying about that. And Tony La Russa's going old school and tearing down his player for doing that and not taking as he wanted him to. And then Lance Lynn responded to it in agreement that, if it's a position player, swing away, whatever. And Tony La Russa's response was, he has a locker, I have an office. Crotchety old dudes are sometimes kind of funny. They can wear you down, wear you out. It is Stained opening up for Korn, Jamie. Korn and Jonathan Davis and Stained together the 28th of August. All right, let me take a break. We shall return. Top of the hour, Denary Bowen at the 5 o'clock hour. I've got you covered today with a lot of things to win. Callers 5. When you hear that artist or group re-entry is going to win the tickets, so you got to listen to win to that. This is 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
VC Commercial Facility Solutions is seeking new talent. If you're an experienced commercial, industrial, HVAC technician, plumber, or sewer and drain specialist and want to join a fast-growing, well-established, opportunity-filled company, VC is for you. Have a true work-life balance with full benefits and profit sharing as part of a dynamic and energetic team. Call VC Commercial Facility Solutions at 317-873-2512. That's VC, 317-873-2512, or go to VC.com.
It's playoff basketball time. Big stakes, bigger promotions. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a chance to lower the over-under on a featured playoff game. All players who place a bet on the featured basketball game will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. For every 1,500 players who bet the over-under on a select game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. As the line lowers, the odds remain at even money. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code WFNI. When you sign up to hammer the over, for every 1,500 people who bet the over in the feature game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Hammer the over, improve your odds at doubling your money. That's code WFNI for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You got to be 21 or older, Indiana only. Restrictions apply. Max $25 wager, one per customer. Offer ends 5/23/21. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's JMV here for PAI. Who out there would like to have some real growing hair? Hey, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you major league vain or anything like that. It doesn't mean you're going through a midlifer. It just means you want options. Heck, we all want options, don't we? And when it comes to your real growing hair, if life in general on top of your head is leaving you no options, then create your own. And let Darren Andrews explain it all to you. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com. They came at me about 6 years ago and they said, hey, we can fix whatever's happening up there on top of your dome. And I go, let's get the fixing then. I want to go back to the days where I parted it down the middle and feathered it on the side and had a comb in my back pocket. And you know what? Here I am right now. It does work. It's your real growing hair again. There's nothing fake about it. There's no toupee involved or glue or anything like that. It's your real growing hair. Just get that private consultation at 888-724-5129. Or heck, ask me about it. I'll tell you all about it. It is easy. It's a great experience with Darren Andrews and PAI. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Springtime, Indy, and for 20 years, Rhino Shield's been covering your neighbors' homes like Edwina.
So over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
I'd had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here and picking up things in the yard. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Celebrate Rhino Shield covering Indy for 20 years for 20% off the regular price.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Android users, BetRivers Sportsbook is ready for download in the Google Play Store. Just search for BetRivers and download the app. It's never been easier to get in the game. You'll enjoy the ease of use and critical speed of the new BetRivers Android app. Bet with a winner. Download the BetRivers Android app in the Google Play Store today. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's JMV. In May is National 529 Month, and Forum has the perfect way to supplement your child's 529 college account. The Sprout College Savings Account at Forum pays a competitive dividend rate plus matches 10% of your annual account deposits up to $1,000 every year through the age of 17. Open this account as soon as your child is born to reach over $15,000 in savings. By the time that they head off to college, oh, this is so easy. Get with Kevin and the gang at a branch location today. Tell them I sent you. Or for more on the Sprout account and win the next time my daughter Lainey and I are going to give away $100 to somebody, that's forumcu.com today.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son.
A Care Source, true story.
And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call Care Source. I was like, my health insurance company?
CareSource is so much more than health insurance. We helped Becky with her resume, childcare, and transportation so she could get the job. What can we do for you? Visit caresource.com.
It's the highly anticipated return of Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon, When You See Yourself Tour. Performing new songs and all the hits with special guest Cold War Kids. Ruoff Music Center, August 22nd. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. The brand new album, When You See Yourself, is available everywhere now. Check more at kingsofleon.com.
The VA loan is one of the best benefits of being in the military. Get the loan you deserve and apply online today at HeroLoan.com. NMLS number 1326241.
The Ride with JMV.
Hey, you gonna stare all day or you gonna buy something? I'm gonna stare all day.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
But it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull. It can buy me a Yeti 110 ice down with some silver bullets.
Hey, Denary, top of the hour, was feisty last night on Twitter. We got to get him in here. He didn't like something that Nate Duncan tweeted, and I know more so than anything else, he was just pissed because he wasn't doing the game. That's what I love about Denary. He was mad because he wasn't doing it, man. They all think, don't they? I listen, it is cold-blooded of me to do this, but that is not Brad Paisley. That is Chris Jansen. And I do this all the time just to kind of be a crank. Kyle thinks it's funny when I play that part of the song, too. So that is not Brad Paisley. That's sure as hell not Korn. That is Chris Jansen. Hey, JMV, so Kyle's going to the Caribbean and you're going to Greene County. Where are you going in GC? Well, I got to do something with my mom, I think, and then I'm going to go. This is very much like going to St. Lucia. I'm going to go to Dinky's Friday night auction. At Dinky's Auction Center in Montgomery, I believe that's where I'm going to go. because I haven't been there in a couple of years and I kind of want to see it, it's got me interested when it says junk, reptiles, cats, dogs, and more. New tools, fresh produce, furniture, junk, reptiles, cats, and dogs, and more. So true. So, yeah, I'm going to Dinky's and Montgomery, and Kyle's going to St. Lucia. Hey, JMV, this from BT Do. The guy, Chris Denary, had an issue with, has had an axe to grind with Sabonis for some reason. He does. Here's the problem that you have. He's an analytics guy, and he thinks he's smarter than absolutely everybody else. And the other thing is, he's a dude, and I don't have a great deal of respect for dudes like this. He is a dude that just gets on there to try to stir it up. I mean, he will conjure up a level of jackassery. It's what Jeff Goodman does all the time, or has done with IU, has done with Kentucky. I mean, you're sitting around bored, and I never understood that. Sitting around bored, and you know what? I think I'll be a jackass on Twitter and get everybody mad. Good Lord, go find something else to do. Mow your yard, do a little landscaping, pull some weeds, trim your nails. Anything. I'm just sitting around, and I feel, that's just one of the reasons why, and that's an aspect that they're never going to own or cop to, but that's an aspect that just makes Twitter at times one of the worst. I mean, it does a pretty damn good job of being one of the worst anyway on its own, right? When you have people that should know better that don't, that's when it really gets in the way. Like, if you're a jackass, an anonymous jackass just for the sake of being a jackass, that's one thing. But if you got some credentials and you're doing that just because you're bored, makes you want to go away. But, yeah, I do get that. He has had an axe to grind. Jordan Lakes chimes in. I don't know if this is going to be called the joke of the day, Jordan. Paris Campbell changed his number to 1 because that's the number of snaps he'll take before going to IR. I did not say that. Listen, I hope that it works out. I hope that it works out because they need it to work out. Carson Wentz needs it to work out. How valuable having a multifaceted skill position weapon. And then beyond that, even if you don't care about it, you get me to shut up for a minute. That's a win-win. Ryan's up first at 239-1070. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, JMV, thanks for taking my call.
You got it. Go ahead.
Hey, I agree with you on McConnell and McDermott. They've been fun to watch this year. The only thing I worry about, do we worry about them recreating the Austin Crozier error from years ago and overpaying to keep one of these guys? How much do we worry about that?
I think you always worry about that. I like Austin too, but I think you always worry about that. But I think these guys have shown, at least with this team, that they're necessary to essential. But I also think they're only going to be as good as those that are above them, right? Those that are starting, if not McDermott, if they're coming off the bench. So I still say the rest of the team will matter more, but I think it'd be great if you can bring these guys back because you know what you have. And like I said, McDermott has been thriving in this system. If there's one guy in this Bjorkgren system that really stands out as far as changing the whole dynamic of his offense in this past year compared to one Nate to the other, has been McDermott. And that's been the case for him at every stop. He's just been utilized differently here, and that's something that Bjorkgren and his staff apparently recognized because like 3 or 4 teams prior to didn't.
Yeah, he's textbook moving without the ball. I love watching that. Is there any chance they shock everybody and maybe make some moves to where McConnell works his way into the starting lineup?
I think they like him, Ryan, coming off the bench. I think they're going to have to make some moves. I don't know when you look at it this way, and somebody's going to have to change my mind. When you have LeVert and Brogdon and Warren, I don't know how all that works. I think they need a real point guard. Easier said than done, right? But I think they need a real point guard.
Yeah, I wonder if he kind of fits that even more so than Brogdon's such a scorer, and so is LeVert. But then again, in the league anymore, there's not very many of those point guards.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I'm not suggesting at all it'd be really easy to do, but I just they want to get that defense better on the perimeter, and I just don't think you wave a magic wand and say, well, all these guys are going to be better. I just kind of think they are defensively what they are, and that's a bit of a frightening proposition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Ryan?
That's it. Thanks, John.
All right. Listen, I don't know. It depends on the number. I mean, do I think that McConnell has been fantastic coming off the bench and he can continue that and that has been necessary for this team? Absolutely. Do I think McDermott has a newfound existence offensively in the NBA by virtue of playing in this system? Yes. But it all does depend on what the market is going to value, or how they are going to be valued in the open market if they make it there. Quick break and we'll come back. Denary, top of the hour. Bowen, 5 o'clock hour. We'll get you in regarding the Pacers. If you want to talk about some Colts, you can. You got the Warriors and the Lakers tonight. That's weird right there. I love it, though. That's weird. Yeah, Celtics and the Wizards. Will Westbrook and Beal look like that? Especially Westbrook last night was a mess. 2 straight games. Can you count on that, especially the way that he has worked over the Pacers in the games this year? We'll hit up Denary about that and more coming up at the top of the hour. 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
Kids, tell your parents about Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Brad Paisley Tour 2021.
Just another American Saturday night.
Saturday, July 31st, Ruoff Music Center. With special guests, Jimmy Allen and Cameron Marlowe. Country music superstar Brad Paisley Live. Reserve seat tickets on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Hey, it's John here for Love Heating and Air. It's John and Chris Love with the absolute best, as always, just for you. Making sure that you're ready to go for the warm summer months ahead. In fact, coming up here the next 5+ days, we're talking 80s, mid-80s, and even over the weekend, they're 90. You're going to find out, really soon, how that HVAC is cooling your home. Make sure that it's tuned and ready to go. And then take advantage of this. Let's just say this system of yours is limping to the finish line, all right? Well, change it up. Get a new high-efficiency air conditioning system in your home and mention my name. Take $600 off the price tag. This deal is going on now through the end of May. Tale the tape's going to be told coming up, I'm sure, by Saturday. Don't be left out in the heat. Make sure John and Chris Love get over there and, at the very least, check your system and make sure you're good to go. 317-353-2141. Right now, you can get $125 off the state-of-the-art air purification system known as iWave. Just mention my name. They'll give you $125 off. 317-353-2141. That is love-hvac.com today.
Only one team owner has an unprecedented 18 victories at the Indianapolis 500, and the captain wants you to be a winner this month, too. That's why he's given his general manager, Jay Smith, and area VP, Brett Rosie, the tools to get that done at Penske Chevrolet. At 96th and Keystone Avenue, they're working hard to give you exactly what you want. And the current line of Chevy products are the best on the road today. And you're in luck with guaranteed low prices as part of the Penske promise. How about 10% off the Blazer, 13% off the Equinox, 18% off the Trax, and a cool $4,000 rebate on on the Silverado 1500 4x4 Crew Cab. Penske Chevy is also your lease return headquarters, so turn in your Chevy and GM leases and maybe grab a new one. The Trax is only $175 a month and the Equinox $199 a month with $1995 due at signing, and that's for 39 months and 10,000 miles a year. Your winning deal is waiting at Penske Chevrolet, 96th and Keystone Avenue, and online at PenskeChevy.com. At Penske Chevy, find new roads. Percentage off not available with special financing, lease, and other offers. Take delivery by 6/1/2021.
It is a loaded week here. Obviously, some racing on the horizon for fans in this market. But the NBA playoffs beginning later this week. Playing-wise tonight, you've got the LA Lakers and the Warriors. PGA Championship going on down in Kiowa. So PropSwap is your place to be. Again, the best odds in the country over on PropSwap. We've had several listeners reach out and say they have already made some money over there to buy and sell props. And Luke Pergandy, the owner of PropSwap, joins us now. And Luke, the Lakers and their NBA playoff hopes, obviously tonight hinges on it big time. It is so fascinating to watch what the betting market is going to do with the Lakers here if they're able to get into the Western Conference playoffs.
Yeah, just far and away the most polarizing team is the LA Lakers. Are they done? They're currently 4-1 odds. Do they have a chance to beat Golden State? I could see them losing to Golden State. Golden State is clearly hotter than LA is. So then obviously say they lose, you have to go try and get the 8th seed by winning a play-in game, a couple nights later. So very, very polarizing team. Do you buy the Lakers? Do you sell the Lakers? Obviously with PropSwap is the only app in Indiana where you can both buy and sell. So customers have a decision to make.
They definitely do. And then PGA Championship wise, this is the best field in golf. I think people forget that. This major is loaded. It's always the best field from a world ranking standpoint. And there are some awesome props. Right now, Jordan Spieth, the hottest golfer arguably in the world. Rory is the defending champ at Keel Island. So I can't wait for the PGA.
Yeah, and don't forget about Morikawa. Obviously, a different course, but Morikawa won the PGA Championship last year at odds of 50-1.
That is a great point. There's never been a better time to join, folks. Head over to PropSwap. New users get a free $100 match bonus for signing up, and that offer expires soon. For what it's worth, Justin Thomas. That's my pick, PGA Championship wise, guys. Check out PropSwap.com or download the free PropSwap app.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it. Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Kelly Watson, business manager of Labor's Local 1112. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Hey, JMV here for LD Smith Plumbing. That is Lance and his local team, the absolute best. Keep this number handy just in case something goes wrong. 317-284-9526. Always ask for Lance. 317-284-9526. Let's just say some of you out there would like a change in career path. Right now, Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing, they are hiring plumbing service technicians. Sign-on bonus, health, life, vision, profit-sharing program, matching 401k, continuing education paid for, and personal development. We're talking a single owner, locally owned, invest heavy in the landscape here in the community locally. It's the best. If you're thinking about a change of pace and you're good with your hands and tools and the like, contact Lance today, 317-284-9526 for a new career path. It's online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Oh, while we're in lawn and garden, I was thinking I should pick up one of those little things for watering my plants.
A hose?
No, the things that look like teapots, but for plants. You tip it over and it goes blah, 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 blah.
You're good at describing words you've forgotten.
Like those things that give the plants a shower, that you fill up.
A watering can?
Yes, a watering can. I knew that.
We're good at your insurance. Find an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
It's JMV. It's back. You've seen the Colts 2021 schedule, the best pregame party. The Colts VIP tailgate is back. Get your tickets right now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Time trials for the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500. Coverage Saturday and Sunday at 11 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It's like the NBA's Summer League is going back to Vegas in August. That is good. May not matter too much to you right now, but that's good. I mean, I think everything that falls back into place is pretty good, right? Most things, if not everything. Hey, JMV, time for the Pacers to get rid of McDermott. Every time a player brings it, they get rid of him. Remember Bogey? He's having a great season in Utah. Bob Chambers. Well, and Bogey actually chose Utah. So, yeah, I mean, it does work out that way. It does. And Bogey's really good in Utah with that group. There's no question. JMV, I'd love a Brogdon trade for Lonzo Ball. Pass first point guard who defends. Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about it. I don't know how you're going to do LeVert and Brogdon and Warren. Alex says from McConnell, 3 years, $18 million.
McConnell's making his last contract was a little over 3, and this year is 3.5. So I could see about $6 million a year from McConnell.
Doug Thrasher chimes in. McConnell makes up for the 2-point shot by stealing the most possessions in the league. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Love it. Reggie Sykes says, me at the airport in Baltimore, happy that I wore Pacers gear instead of my Colts gear. They made my 3-hour layover go fast. Bobby Mack, that's Bobby Jefferson right there. Can Brissett be the healthy version of what Warren was supposed to be? I think that is an incredible step that to me is not logical. So I guess my answer is no. Boy, would it be nice? Would it be nice if you found a player that could raise his game as, what they ended up getting before he got injured in Warren? Yes. I think to make that comparison, no. No. I just want to see them find. I hope they just found a rotational player, a positive rotational player, and just found it. BK writes this, hey, some of us are okay with the 39 Hornet points in the fourth because it easily secured the over. 39 by the Hornets in the fourth, by the way. Doug McDermott had more points last night, 21, this is according to Alex Golden, than he had in his first 8 in the playoffs for the Pacers. So you tell me that anybody has thrived more in this system of Bjorkgren than McDermott. Yeah, I thought McDermott was the reason why the Hornets quit. I thought he buried them in the first quarter last night. Quick break. The feisty one, the voice of the Pacers, Chris Denari, joins us next.
Right now, it's a seller's market. I'm Patrick Keller with Crest Point Real Estate. Get your free home value estimate from me in 60 seconds at sellwithpatrick.com.
Hammer here for Indy's hometown sportsbook, Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers, Indiana. Download the app right now. iPhone and Android. It's the month of May, and nobody has you covered like Bet Rivers. You can make bets right now on the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500. If you're new, Bet Rivers will match that very first deposit up to $250. Bet Rivers, Indiana. Must be 21 and over, a resident of Indiana. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
It's BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate. You have seen the home schedule for the Colts, and I want you to be a part of all the fun. And what I say about all the fun is, hey, it is so much more to making a game day experience than just going to the game itself. You have to be a part of the Colts VIP tailgate at bullseyeeventgroup.com. Inside the Bullseye Event Center right across Capitol from Lucas Oil Stadium. It's all you can eat. Celebrity chef Aaron May makes the food, and you can eat it all. It's awesome. All you can drink. This is the pregame party anywhere with bullseyeeventgroup.com. DJ Skids on the ones and the twos. It is an absolute blast. Inside or outside, it's just fantastic. You want to be a part of it. Make your game day experience the best it can be. Get those tickets today for the Colts VIP tailgate. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
What is a cash-out refi? It's using the equity in your home to pay off high-interest credit cards.
Paid it off! Yes!
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. With mortgage rates at a low 2.25%, you can save hundreds each month and skip your next 2 payments. You'll pay nothing out of pocket, and we never charge for a home appraisal if we can't close your loan. And remember, our local lending experts speak mortgage and love translating for our customers. Eliminating debt means putting your dreams back on the table today.
Updated bathroom?
Updated bathroom and a pool table?
Don't push it, Rick.
Get started with our fast and easy zipline tool at goldenoaklending.com.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.195% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son.
A Care Source, true story.
And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call Care Source. I was like, my health insurance company?
Care Source is so much more than health insurance. We helped Becky with her resume, childcare, and transportation so she could get the job. What can we do for you? Visit caresource.com.
Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back. Alice Cooper, live in concert. With special guest, former KISS guitarist Ace Frehley. TCU Amphitheater at White River State Park, September 29th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. The concert return of the year with legendary rocker Alice Cooper. Check more at alicecooper.com.
When it comes to working at Geico, our best advocates are our employees, like Maxine. But since she is so focused on growing her career, we hired an actor to read her story.
At Geico, I love mentoring the new associates to help them make this a career and not just a job.
And with new opportunities and job stability, Geico has been helping people grow their careers for over 75 years. The only downside, she still hasn't met the gecko. Where are you, fella?
Ready to start your career, Indy? We're hiring claim sales and service agents. Apply online today at geico.job/Indy.
At HeroLoan.com, we pay for the appraisal and can close your VA loan in as little as 14 days. Apply online today at HeroLoan.com. NMLS number 1326-241.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Join me tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot of Colts and mostly get you ready. The Pacers are still alive. They played a Wizard. The over-under should be $2 million. Join me tomorrow. We're talking playoffs.
From the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is Brendan King with your 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan track update. It's brought to you by Vasey Commercial Facility Solutions, who is hiring commercial HVAC techs, plumbers, sewer, and drain specialists. Vasey.com for details. Day 2 of practice from 16th in Georgetown. 1,407 total laps have been run. The most of anybody belonged to the young driver Colton Herta. He has 77 laps done today. He's gone on a full fuel run. Ed Jones has run 66 laps. Alexander Rossi 65. And Elio Castroneves at 64. Also keep an eye out. We've been hearing all about the Ed Carpenter racing cars. All 3 ECR drivers in the top 10 of speeds. Connor Daly has posted the best speed at 226.006. Renus VK, the 5th best speed today. Ed Carpenter, 8th. I'm Brendan King, 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
Vasey Commercial Facility Solutions is seeking new talent.
If you're an experienced commercial industrial HVAC technician, plumber, or sewer and drain specialist and want to join a fast-growing, well-established, opportunity-filled company, VACI is for you. Have a true work-life balance with full benefits and profit sharing as part of a dynamic and energetic team. Call VACI Commercial Facility Solutions at 317-873-2512. That's VACI, 317-873-2512, or go to vaci.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now. I don't know if he was more upset last night because of Nate Duncan and how we don't like him in the first place, or because he was not doing the game. As TNT had the call last night, the voice of the Pacers, Chris Denary, joins us now. So which was it? Was there a little? Were you a little bit more feisty because you weren't doing the game last night?
Yeah, I'd say it was both. I have more time. I was sitting up in the upper media, which is in the varsity club at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And so, as the Pacers got up 20 early, you have a little bit more time than you do when you're calling a game, that you can have the second screen up. And I probably would have never seen that tweet during a game that I was broadcasting. And I just happened to see it and thought about it for a while. It probably took me 10 or so minutes to compose it the way that I wanted to for the full effect, and still be, I guess, somewhat respectful in the Twitter the Twitter world.
Let us know what was your first draft? What did it look like?
You probably know what it looked like. I knew that I struck a nerve for all NBA people when I was getting text messages from other NBA play-by-play announcers and other people within the NBA saying spot on, good job. So I knew I'd hit my mark, and then I felt pretty good about it.
That was good right there. I mean, that first one, you could have just called them a couple of names, nerd or something like that, and then bailed. But I'm glad you composed yourself and then put out something that everybody embraced.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to do, and Domas had such a great sound bite after the game. Jay Michael from the Star asked him about how Charlotte likes to pack the paint and make it tough on him to score and force you to make three-point shots, which the Pacers made. And Domas said, it's not all about scoring points. You can impact the game by rebounding, by delivering the ball, by assists. And that's his game. I mean, that's exactly what we've watched in his career. That's what he's done all year long. And for somebody to put that out there in the first quarter of a game without letting the game breathe and it's just ridiculous in my eyes. And I just felt that I needed to let him know.
No, he's got an axe to grind against Sabonis for one. So that's not altogether surprising. I actually was going to respond, and I wrote a couple of different things, and I go, yeah, that didn't look right, and I just bagged it. So,
well, I mean, that's what I almost didn't send something, John. I was the same way. I thought, do I send something? And then I just thought, nope, I've got time. I'm not doing the game. I'm sitting up here. The Pacers are, plus 30 or whatever they are, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna put the zinger out, and hopefully it was taken the right way. I know Pacer fans responded in a big way, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, Nate Duncan is an NBA, this is what he calls himself, an NBA cap guru, scout, attorney, creating deep NBA content. He and John Hollinger, who used to be he was first an NBA writer for ESPN.com, then got hired, I think, down in Memphis, right? Is where he was, John Hollinger?
Was down in Memphis.
And now he's back to writing.
I met John a number of years ago, and I like a lot of the stuff that John Hollinger writes for The Athletic. By the way, what is deep NBA content? Can you tell me what?
It's just it's something that's supposed to make you look smart. So, I mean, I had deep content yesterday, and I talked about farting with my armpit, Denary. So making fart noises with my armpit. So that's deep content that I have on here too.
I'm going to change my Facebook and my Twitter to say I do deep NBA play-by-play.
Oh, I tell you what, that's what you hear when you like. This is what we hear in like radio business. I used to make fun of all the time, and you hear it in TV too. And when you get the consultants talking about content and organically grown and all that crap, and normally that somebody that's telling you that has no idea how it works in the first place, so you just kind of dismiss it in general. So I guess after reading that first line, I would probably have dismissed that in general. So content, deep NBA content.
Deep NBA content. I'm going to have to I have not listened. It's too bad because I like John Hollinger. I respected a lot of the stuff that he writes, but I have not listened to Nate and his deep NBA content podcast.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I have passed on that.
I just remember him from the past, and it's never been anything to me that's that great. So that's kind of what I expected, and you can expect it on Thursday too, because it'll be. Now that I always think it's kind of pot stirring because you're bored kind of stuff. And those are the ones that I can't stand the most. Because, I mean, you got a platform where I think you need to be a little bit more respectful of those, around you, not to kind of jump or get mired in the muck that, we expect to see. You wouldn't expect to see somebody like that jumping into it, but occasionally you do. And believe me, I can get caught up in it too. That's why I kind of choose to just to tweet something, at least tweet it out, not send it, look at it, then I'll probably delete it because I've been in trouble before, Chris. I've seen that side of it. It's no fun. It's not good.
Yeah, no, and that's why I took my time, and I wouldn't have put anything out there that I shouldn't have, but I just wanted to make sure I said what I thought needed to be said. And again, Domantas Sabonis, he orchestrates that offense, and whether he's scoring or not, it's beautiful basketball to watch. And that's one of the things that I think has been the bright spot for the Pacers this year offensively. I think we all know the defense has been a struggle, but they've averaged 115 points per game. That's the most in Pacers franchise history. It's top 7 in the NBA, and that has been a pleasure to watch, and they're going to need more of that tomorrow night in Washington.
Yeah, they are. We'll get to that in a second. Voice of the Pacers, Chris Denary, via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I thought last night, and obviously the Pacers kept the offensive hammer down the entire game, but I thought that those 4 threes in the first quarter, I thought it took the heart of the Hornets. I think they completely went away, if not all the way went away after that.
Well, I think one of the advantages the Pacers had is they had some guys that had been in playoff situations, and Charlotte had not. And I do think the one thing, John, is we have seen the Pacers give up some pretty significant leads this year. So, having a 15, 18-point lead early always doesn't bode well for a team because it's a long NBA game. And I thought what was most impressive is when they came out in the third quarter. What was the lead? 24, and all of a sudden it went to 31 in the first minute, and then you knew that it was going to be virtually impossible for Charlotte to come back. But I like the way that they kept the foot on the gas. I like the way they kept attacking, whether it was Malcolm Brogdon at the start or T.J. McConnell. I just love the way they pushed the tempo. And the one thing that I've noticed in the last month is the way the Pacers have advanced the basketball up the floor. I think when you can beat the defense down the floor and get a good quick shot, not a quick shot, but a good quick shot early in the shot clock, I think it really helps you not have to run offense against a set defense. So I think that's been one of the keys for the Pacers, why their offense has been really, really good here in the last month or so. And I thought that's what was so good last night. And it doesn't hurt when, as you said, McDermott hits 4 threes. O'Shea Brissett, Justin Holiday, and Brogdon started the game with a 3. That was huge for the Pacers last night.
It's Chris Denary who joins us now. I was talking about McDermott because you bring up McDermott and McConnell in the offseason, and I think especially McConnell, in McConnell's case, he has built, I think, at least to be a piece of this team in essential terms here. And I think he's also going to have a nice market coming up in the offseason here in free agency. And McDermott the same. Now, I think, don't get me wrong, I think McConnell can go to other teams and do what he does off the bench. The problem I would see with McDermott is McDermott was, 3 or 4 teams prior to here, and nobody ever figured out how to use him accurately until Nate Bjorkgren came in. And I think he is the one on this team to this point that has flourished with Bjorkgren and what he wants to do offensively more than anybody else.
Yeah, and he also flourishes with that, with Domantas Sabonis. I mean, their two-man game with Doug's ability to cut and read defenses, you have to honor his three-point shot. What's funny, John, is by percentage, he has not shot the three as well as he shot it in the past, nor has he shot as many. But that's because he's been so good at getting to the rim. And last night he proved how good a three-point shooter he is. So I know both those guys. I've talked to them a number of times during the year. They would both like to stay. There's no question. They like being a member of the Pacers organization. And so that's going to be something for the summer to pan out with the front office and how they manage the roster, what opportunities. It is free agency. They can accept any offer. But I do think those two guys really have enjoyed their last 2 years here and would like to extend it if that's possible. We'll just have to wait and see. But they have created value for themselves. There's no question about that with how they've played this year.
I look at McDermott, and before McDermott got here, and even when he was here with McMillan, he was kind of staked out in the corner or on the wing, and waited for a drive and dish or a skip pass to shoot a three, and then all of a sudden he started driving and finishing, and that is more of what he is now than he even is a three-point shooter, and I think that was widely unknown across the NBA landscape until this year.
Oh, no question, and I think it's still unknown. I mean, there's still a lot of people that have not watched the Pacers on a regular basis, nationally, that still, when they ask you a question about Doug McDermott, it's all about three-point shooting, and that's just a small part of his game. His ability to drive and put the ball on the floor. I think that's the biggest improvement that he's made, John, is that he's more than a one-dribble player. It used to be he put it on the floor for a dribble, and then you needed him to pick it up in the NBA. And now he is very confident putting that ball on the floor, getting to the basket. I mean, last night he was in the catch-and-shoot mode from three-point range. He's just turned into more of an all-round player. He's better defensively than he has been in the past. He's still not what you would call a defensive stopper, but he can manage on that end, and you really have to honor what he does on the other end.
So Chris Denari with us. I believe the tandem of Beal and Westbrook last night, were they 16 of 43 from the floor? Was that the number, the duo?
Yeah, let's see. Beal was 10 of 25, and Westbrook was 6 of 18, so 16 of 43. 1 for 10 from three-point range, and that's the worry you have. You just wonder if two guys like that are going to have two bad games in a row. But I would say this: Beal does not look healthy. He does not have the same pop that he had the night he scored 50 and then went down with a hamstring injury. So it'll be interesting to see, how Beal is tomorrow night, a day after, a game against Boston, because he just does not look, at least last night, he just did not look to have the same bounce or pop that he usually has.
Yeah, and the problem, obviously, has been documented because we've watched it recently, the issues that the Pacers have had with Russell Westbrook, on either side of the floor, anywhere on the floor.
Well, yeah, but if you look at all the numbers, John, everybody in the league the last 23 games has had issues with Westbrook. They were 17-6 heading into last night's game. I think they had the second best record in the NBA over the last 25 games. So, the Pacers are going to have to figure out a way to do that. A guy that's really hurt them in the regular season is Rui Hachimura, who played at Gonzaga. He's a much improved player. I've really liked watching him this season. But Ish Smith can create some problems off the bench. They've got three centers that are all different. They'll start Alex Len, who's got a big body. They'll try to body up against Sabonis. They've got Daniel Gafford, who's more athletic, who is flying to the rim, and then they've got the crafty old veteran in Robin Lopez. So they'll use all three centers. The good news is the Pacers do have Goga Bitadze healthy now. He had a double-double last night. So that gives the Pacers a little bit more size because if you remember, in a number of those games that the Pacers played against the Wizards, they were undersized. I mean, they didn't have any big guys. So it'll be nice to go up against the size that Washington has with more than just Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, and you also wonder Brogdon. You mentioned Beal and his situation. Brogdon got a little bit of rest, and hopefully he's going to be good to go for them coming up tomorrow night. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was critical, even though you were without Karis LeVert. And when we got that news yesterday, that I was out working in the yard, and I just sort of hung my head and go, well, that's sort of how the year has gone.
Yeah.
But you get Brogdon back, you get Aaron Holiday, you get Edmund Sumner. That helps your guard rotation a little bit. You'd like to have Karis LeVert, but for the 3 games or for the 3 or 4 games prior to that, you did not have Brogdon, Sumner, or Holiday. So that at least gives you a starter back in the lineup and a couple of guys that can play either guard position, give you some size. Sumner's a guy that you could see guard Russell Westbrook a little bit tomorrow night because he's long and can put some pressure on Westbrook out front.
When you look at, and somebody had asked me this a little bit earlier, O'Shea Brissett. And I'm not getting, as they say, over my skis at all. And I know that they're playing Charlotte, and it was a good moment for Pacer fans to enjoy something because it has been a tough year. But what do you think can be made of Brissett? Do you think there's something there, or in these games down the stretch, has that been more of a product of the teams that they're playing?
Well, I mean, he put up numbers against the Lakers, against the Bucks, against Philadelphia. I think this guy has a promising future. Is he a starter in the league? Well, we'll just have to wait and find out, but I do think he's a rotation player. He's got a nice, good size, 6'8", can shoot the three. He's what you call a 3-and-D guy. And the Pacers don't have a lot of that right now, right? When they lost T.J. Warren, they lost somebody who was maybe their best player a year ago, and we know he was the best player in the bubble. So I think they found something in O'Shea Brissett. The one thing, John, that's a real positive as you look at free agency is O'Shea Brissett's on a pretty good contract. It looks to be non-guaranteed the next couple of years. I would think he's going to be on your roster. He's somebody that you're going to count on as a rotational player, and fortunately, it appears he's at a really, really good number. And that can only help you as you continue to either, add to or change your roster a little bit. But when you can have a guy like that is productive on a really good number, that can only be helpful. So I think he's somebody that will factor into the rotation in the future. He's been that good. He's done it, John, over the last 20 games. It's not like, last night was the first time we've seen it. Since he's entered the starting lineup, he's averaged nearly a double-double, and that's been pretty impressive for the young man from Canada and Syracuse.
When was the last game that the Pacers shot the ball as well as they did last night?
Well, they shot the ball against the Lakers. They shot 50%, but they didn't win. They have, honestly, John, if you look at starting from April 1st, they've been one of the best offensive teams in the NBA. It's just, defensive side has really hurt. I think it was through April and May, it was Milwaukee number 1 and the Pacers were number 2 as far as scoring points and shooting the basketball. So that's not always been the issue. It's been the other side. And I do think they've made some improvements. It looks like they've changed some of the coverages, especially without Miles Turner. You cannot do some of the things that you were trying to do with all the pressure out on the perimeter because you don't have a rim protector. So I think they've backed off a little bit in how they're handling their defensive assignments out front. Still doing some of the things that have enabled them to get out in fast breaks and get out in transition. They've been one of the best all year in forcing turnovers. But, if you can take care – and that's going to be the key tomorrow. I think they're going to be able to score on Washington. Washington is one of those teams. They're trying to outscore you. So the key is going to be on the defensive side, and can they put pressure on Westbrook, put pressure on Beal, and not have 2 or 3 other guys beat them.
Yeah, we'll see what happens for sure. But now I thought Pacer fans, I said this at the outset, and by the way, I did want to ask you this, and I know this has nothing to do with you, but and you know this because you listen, I will more than occasionally get people saying, hey, I've cut the cord and I can't get Pacer games. Thus, I will also get people saying, hey, I've cut the cord, I'm not getting Pacer games, and I'm glad because they haven't been playing well and I'm not paying attention. I thought last night in the numbers, because everybody was seemingly able to get it here and nobody that had cut the cord, everybody was getting TNT. I think it did show you last night by that ratings number still how many people around here are still engaged.
Oh, no question. And, I was thrilled to see it. I mean, it was, like I said, it was the best number of the year. And that does not count people that are cord cutters. It only counts cable people like you, DirecTV, me with AT&T Uverse, Xfinity, all that. It does not count.
Oh, it doesn't even count the cord cutters, huh?
Oh, no,
wow.
no. The Nielsen rating does not even count YouTube TV or Hulu. So that was a huge number last night. Then you factor in all the people last night that if you're on YouTube TV or Hulu or whatever, you would add that to the number that you saw. So it was a really good number, and that makes me happy. I mean, it makes me happy that people are still committed. Again, it's not a playoff game, but it's a play-in situation to see if you get in the playoffs. And I know an NBA regular season's long, right? 72 games. We're doing 4, if not 5 games a week. So I know it's difficult to cash in every night to watch the Pacers. But clearly last night, I think, appeared to be appointment television, and people dialed in and liked what they saw.
Do you know why the TNT broadcasters were not here? Is that a TNT decision? Because that's not a Pacer decision, right?
No, that's a TNT decision. They've done everything remote all year long. What I've understood is that they will continue, I believe, through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, and then the hope is TNT will be on site for both the Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals.
Why do they feel the need to still do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, all the local telecasts, we are still this way. If we're fortunate enough to do the first round of the playoffs, if the Pacers win tomorrow and then play Philadelphia, we will be back in the mix for the first round. And we would continue to do them just as we've done them this year. Home games from the middle part of the arena, road games from the studio. My guess is that it's just easier to continue to do it as you've done it all year long, and then, break out for, just two series. That's my guess, John.
Man, I hope for everybody involved, especially for the viewers, that the numbers crunchers with these organizations don't figure, I'm not talking about Pacer organization, but with the broadcast organizations, don't figure out that we can still do this and not send people on the road and stuff like that. Because last night was tough. I mean, because you could tell they were having mic issues. I mean, you could basically hear, breathing going. It was just really weird. And they were completely disconnected. And, I mean, it takes away some enjoyment of it. If not, certainly all of it, but a little bit of enjoyment because you notice that so much.
Yeah, and it's difficult. I feel for those guys. Spiro Ditas is a very talented broadcaster. And the delay, tape DVR'd the game and watched it last night when I came home. And, he's a good 2 seconds behind a play. And, a lot of people might not be able to notice it, though it seemed like a lot of people did. And it's difficult. And, we've been very fortunate that with our setup in the studio, I mean, it starts with Jamie Burns, our VP, and then, there's so many great people that make it possible. It was seamless as far as no delay, what we were seeing, we were right on it. Now, we all, with Pacer Sports and Entertainment, believe the best way to do it is to be on site. And we totally understand why this year we didn't. But that will be a Bally Sports decision. That will be, a TNT decision. And everything that we've heard, John, is that everybody with Bally Sports, they told us in a meeting, right around the name change, is we would prefer for the talent to be on site. So that's what the hope will be for next year. I think when you look at Major League Baseball, I've talked to John Sadak, the new play-by-play guy with Bally Sports Ohio, and I think they're hopeful that they would be on the road after the All-Star break in July. So I think what everybody was thinking is that as you get to some, herd immunity, more and more people have vaccinations, it just seems like the smarter play to keep pushing it out. And that's why they're doing it. So, it's at least it appeared that they were in the studio together, because so many of those TNT games this year have been done with a play-by-play announcer in one city and his partner in another, and that's got to be difficult.
It's funny, too. Eddie White just sent us an email, and it said TNT will have all its NBA announcers call playoff games from its Atlanta studio for the first 2 rounds. ESPN, and I was going to ask this question, ESPN will send all their announcers to game sites beginning of the second round. All play-in game and first-round games called by ESPN's lead team of Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson will be announced on site. So ESPN apparently is getting into it deeper than that of TNT. So.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, that's the hope.
Now, would you guys if you guys got into a first-round series with Philly, would you guys go back to work?
Yeah, we would be back. The NBA provided these play-in games, since they were brand new, to both TNT, ESPN exclusive, national and local. But as we go back to the first round, provided a game's not on ABC, then we are back in the mix to do first-round games, yes.
Some of this, and I understand, may be not very interesting to folks, but it will, as a sports fan, it will impact you at some point. So be ready for it, and be ready for me to tell you I told you so. I am curious, not just with you in the NBA and other professional sports, but you got to think about those that cover it collegiately too. Chris, how many do you think actually are going to go back and go on the road with these teams moving forward after this past year? And not because of pandemic reasons, but because of simple numbers crunching.
Well, there's no question. And when you think about these organizations and these, cable companies and these providers, these RSNs, there's been a lot of money lost. And so we all get it. And we all understand, decisions that have to be made. So you're right. We're just going to have to wait and see. I think the one thing that's happened on the TV end, John, is that technology allows this to happen. I mean, think about when everything sort of restarted last year with golf and all those kinds of things, and they were doing things remotely. Jim Nantz was doing it from his house in California. We wouldn't have even thought that was possible 5 years ago. So we understand that those opportunities exist, and those decisions are made much higher than me, way above my pay grade.
No doubt.
I just am glad that we're able to do games, and that it's been what I would say fairly normal. I mean, we've done 55 or 56 games in the studio now, and when I walk into Bankers Life Fieldhouse for a road game, I can tell you in the last year it feels normal. But hopefully next year we'll be back on the road and back around the team and back around the coaches, because I think for the fans, that's how we do our job the best, when we are engaged with the group that we are working with. We've tried to do it the best way we can this year, and I think we've been very successful, but there's no substitute for being a part of it and being around it, because I'm no different, for a road game. If you're at home in your basement watching it on a 70-foot screen, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just talking about it, and you're listening to me.
I know. I hope that that's not the case, but I've got sneaky suspicion. in some instances, that's going to happen, and that would be unfortunate, no doubt about it. Hey, man, I kept you too long. Get back to that yard work, all right? And I need another feisty denary coming up tomorrow night. Find a reason to get pissed off at somebody, all right?
All right. Well, the difference will be tomorrow I'll be sitting on my couch here at home. So, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we're working this weekend.
You got it. Thank you, Chris.
All right, thanks, John.
Chris Denary on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I think we all need a feisty denary tomorrow night. You guys agree? Quick break. Bowen, top of the hour, 93.5, 107.5, 1070 The Fan.
BetRivers Sportsbook has supercharged its app for Apple phones. And you can download the update today from the iOS App Store. Loaded with performance improvements, the new BetRivers iOS app makes placing your bets a seamless experience. Bet with a winner. Download the new BetRivers app from the iOS App Store or update your app today. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The VA loan is one of the best benefits of being in the military. You can buy a home with no money down. You can refinance and cash out up to 100% of your home's equity. And interest rates are up to a full point lower than other loans. At HeroLoan.com, we want to earn your business. We pay for the appraisal and can close your VA loan in as little as 14 days. Get the loan you deserve and apply online today at HeroLoan.com. The only way to VA. NMLS number 1326241.
So I had no job, no car, nobody to watch my son.
A care source, true story.
And when I finally got a job interview, it was a half hour away. I was just stuck, you know? Then one of my friends told me to call CareSource. I was like, my health insurance company?
CareSource is so much more than health insurance. We helped Becky with her resume, childcare, and transportation so she could get the job. What can we do for you? Visit caresource.com.
Hey, JMV in May is National 529 Month, and Forum has the perfect way to supplement your child's 529 college account. It's called the Sprout College Savings Account. At Forum, it pays a competitive dividend rate, plus matches 10% of your annual account deposits up to $1,000 every year through age 17. Open this account as soon as your child is born. You get $15K going by the time that your child reaches the age of 17. That is nice. Visit Kevin and the gang at a Forum Credit Union branch location today or online for more info. That's forumcu.com.
Hubler has it. Savings. Hubler has it. Choices. Hubler has it. Hubler has it all.
Hey, Brooke Hubler here with Dan Dockage. It's racing season in Indy, and Hubler's out to win.
Hubler Chevy is racing to buy more cars than ever during our record-breaking summer event.
Bring us your car, and we'll buy it on the spot.
That's right. Hubler will offer you more than you think it's worth.
Plus, we still have huge savings on all your favorite Chevy models and GM-certified pre-owned vehicles.
Hoosiers have trusted Hubler for 60 years. Great people and great service. Hubler has it all.
Plus, new Chevys include our exclusive 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty.
That's a warranty so huge you can drive around the world 8 times and still be covered.
Race into Hubler Chevy to sell your vehicle or shop for a new one. Visit any of our 5 Hubler Chevy locations. Let my family help yours find new roads.
Call us at 888-221-5101 or click drivehublerchevy.com.
Hubler has it. Hubler has it all.
See dealer for warranty details.
Hey, John for Connecticut, you know the best water. The absolute best water. I have it. If you don't have it, you need it. The Premier Series Water Softener, the in-home drinking water station. Spectacular. But what if you need a career change? And right now, Joe, John, and Dennis at Connecticut, with the great company, they are hiring multiple service technicians. So if you are good with working things, working through issues, tools, and the like, you love great benefits and incredible pay with a great company, this is the place for you. A service technician. They are hiring multiple positions at Connecticut Water Systems. For more info on that, contact them and schedule that interview today. That's ConnecticutIndy.com.
There's no better feeling than getting a great deal, like a hotel room upgrade or a free car wash with every tank of gas. Maybe unlimited chips and salsa with your burrito. And now, as an AT&T Wireless customer, you can get an exclusive deal on a super fast internet experience with AT&T Fiber. Get consistently fast speed, even during peak times, and a great deal with AT&T Fiber. Learn more at att.com/fiber offer. Limited availability in select areas based on wired connection to gateway. Restrictions apply.
Listen up, Class A CDL drivers. Pepsi Beverages North America is hiring in Indianapolis. This is your chance to work for a Fortune 50 company and experience all the great pay and benefits that go along with it. Join the team and you'll have the opportunity to receive up to a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Great benefits, target pay of $70,000 plus, and be home every night. Not to mention you'll be working with new equipment. Take the first step toward your future. Apply online today at PepsiCoJobs.com.
Circle K is America's thirst stop. And yours, especially when the weather gets... and you need to stay refreshed on the go with ice-cold Circle K favorites like freshly ground iced coffee, Froster, Polar Pop Cup, and more. And right now at Circle K, save on all 8 or 12-ounce Red Bull flavors. Buy 2, get 1 free. When life's go, 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 make us your first stop. Because Circle K is America's thirst stop.
Diamonds Direct has enough diamonds right now to supply up to 30 ordinary jewelry stores. From a half carat to 10 carats. Rare, precious diamonds in all shapes, straight from the world's best diamond cutters. At Diamonds Direct, diamonds are our business, our specialty, our focus. That's why we can guarantee the best diamond selection and the best diamond prices every day, every week, every year. Diamonds Direct. Get store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Yeah, I saw where Lollapalooza's coming back to Grant Park in Chicago the 29th of July through August the 1st. Post Malone, Tyler the Creator, Miley Cyrus, DaBaby, Marshmello, Journey, Megan Thee Stallion, Roddy Ricch, Modest Mouse, Limp Bizkit. Who else is on there? Young the Giant, Band of Horses, Steve Aoki. The headliner, of course, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, Foo Fighters. That's not bad. It's interesting. You look down the list, and normally they would have a lot of older school bands. It kind of looks like the older school bands because, logically, they have older musicians are not the ones that are going out. Maybe the younger ones are just going out and saying, let's do it. I could be wrong about that, but normally you would have more older classic bands, if you will. Not too many in here. That's in Chicago at Grant Park coming up on the 29th of July through August the 1st. I've been to 3 in my life, not 3 of these. I went when it used to travel around the country. Those were the good old days right there, right? 94, I went 94, 95, and 96 maybe? I can't remember. I attended when Smashing Pumpkins, Beastie Boys, Parliament, they were the headliners. I went when Hole and Sonic Youth were headliners, and I went when Metallica, Soundgarden, and the Ramones were headliners. Now they have since, for a while now, just done it in one place in Chicago. Jay's up next at 239-1070. Hello, Jay. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself, John?
I'm fantastic, Jay. Go ahead. You calling in on Saturday night.
Yeah, I definitely am. I watched the game from Taylor's Pub on the north side last night.
Shout out to Taylor's Pub. It's one of our favorites.
And I was cracking up the people there. I said Cody Zeller couldn't jump over the Evansville phone book.
I think he could probably jump over the Washington phone book for real. I think he could get both phone books.
Because Bob Knight said that about Brian Sloan. Remember Brian Sloan, the pick maker from the late 80s?
I remember 90s? Brian Sloan, the doctor right now, too.
Yep, and also Cody Zeller, maybe you could get him in at transitions. He needs to get some hair on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty far gone right there right now. You know what I mean? I think you may just let that go. And he may not want the option. And Jay, I always preach this. If you want the option, I'm here to present the option. If you don't, it's all good.
Right.
Sure.
So I was just saying some things there that could crack you up.
You were cracking everybody up at Taylor's Pub last night, huh?
Yeah, and then also, so I'm surprised they didn't go into Sabonis a little bit more against Zeller, but Sabonis played very well.
Yeah, he had a ball in his hands a lot. Hey, Jay, I'll talk to you on Saturday night with your request, all right?
Okay, later,
John. Buddy. Yeah, I thought Sabonis had the ball a lot. I think I saw Luke Zeller in Noblesville at the Boys and Girls Club a couple of weekends back. We were up there playing. I think he had somebody playing, or I forget what basketball program they had. It's called Distinction, maybe? Is that what it's called? Distinction? But he was up in there as the Hot Shots were up in there, which is good. Litzy writes this: how sweet is it to hear the Bullseye Event Group commercials again? Buy your tickets now to see the great DJ Skids do his magic live. It feels so good. I cannot tell you. You know how much I missed that last year? And here's the real pisser. I missed going to Las Vegas. Last year, it was the Raiders on the schedule in Vegas. And you know what happened in December in 2019 when we went to New Orleans. I barely was able to do the damn show the next day. I was a mess.
You called me before that show, and I wasn't sure. I was letting people know around here, hey, we might have a backup plan here. John might keel over.
I don't know if I've ever – there was like one time in Bloomington after a really bad – embarrassing Goldschlager experience that I hung that low, if not lower, but I was hanging low. I went to a soul food joint and I said, hey, I need all the carbs that you can give me. Let's go.
And you got wrapped up in that bourbon, that Louisiana, New Orleans sugary drink.
That hurricane. That stuff just, that helps you tap out right there because it gets you, and this has always been the case. It gets you in this fashion because it goes down like Kool-Aid and comes out like sewage. I'm going to tell you. And it lasts. It will give you a headache, a hangover. And
what were you, 50 at the time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd just be around people and they'd go, hey, I've had 3 of these and I don't feel a thing. And those are always famous last words. I don't feel a thing. And then the next thing you know, you're face down on the floor. Or puking in the back of the cab into your turtleneck. Because you had no place else to puke. Because I knew if I puked in the cab, I'd have to pay for it. So the only logical choice was to let this stuff go down the front of my turtleneck, inside. And hey, nothing happened here. Whoop, bat. It was bad news. That was bad news. I was hanging low. I guess now, I kind of guess that maybe I had COVID then. Was that the early stage of COVID? It was before, like COVID got here in February, basically, and this was middle of December. Maybe I was one of the first ones. Maybe I had COVID then. I was a mess. Give me all your carbs. I mean, I had a plate of red beans and rice, and I was throwing down anything possible. All right, let me take a break. We'll come back with your calls. Corn tickets, Corn and Stained, coming up on August the 28th at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. On the 31st of July, Brad Paisley, one of the more popular country music artists out there, will be at Ruoff. And I want to thank my friends at Live Nation. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix is back. Back and better than ever. Shout out to my man Christian, wherever he is. So you guys never thought about if you had to barf and you couldn't barf, or you didn't want to barf and you just let it go down your turtleneck? I don't know if I've worn a turtleneck since that happened. It was a really popular choice back then. I wore the turtleneck, and I had the gold chain on the outside of it. I looked like the lead singer of Color Me Bad, who had just puked down the inside of his turtleneck. Quick break. Back for the next.
Hey, it's JMV. It's back. You've seen the Colts 2021 schedule, the best pregame party. The Colts VIP tailgate is back. Get your tickets right now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Hey, Indy. Tim Pearson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey. After years of developing our own rich malt-forward style of bourbon we call Tennessee High Malt, we bring you Chattanooga Whiskey 111. the bold, unfiltered, 111 proof bourbon we fell in love with, straight from the cask into your favorite sipping glass. With notes of chocolate-covered cherries, toasted coconut, and butterscotch, we hope you'll love it as much as we do. Ask about us at your favorite local retailer or bar. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey 111. Enjoy responsibly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Fight Nights. And in this corner, we have Hit 'em Hard Howald. He will be up against that dreaded Energy Eater gas furnace.
And there's the bell. Howard leads with a Carrier Infinity furnace with multi-stage gas valve at 98% efficiency. The ear falls like the 29 crash, but he's up again. And Howard packs the punch of all punches. Variable speed motor using 65 to 70% less electricity. And Eater hits the mat. He's out cold. Oh, the humanity.
Coming home never felt so good.
BetMGM welcomes you to Showtime with a risk-free first bet up to $600. Simply sign up and use bonus code MGM600 and you're on your way to betting with the king of sportsbooks. Plus, with BetMGM's new one-game parlay feature, you can choose from hundreds of bet types and combinations within a single game to build a perfect parlay. All the action on all your favorite sports will be at your fingertips when you download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code MGM600 to make your first bet risk-free up to $600. Bet with confidence and turn game day into payday at BetMGM. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older to wager. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, John here for Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. The heat is on, as the late, great Glenn Fry once famously sang for you. The heat is on. We're mid-80s, upper 80s, maybe near 90 on Saturday. How's your HVAC doing? Is it ready? Get it checked up right now. And if your system needs replaced, take $600 off now through the end of May on a brand new high-efficiency air conditioning system. From John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air. Just mention my name, 317-353-2141. Continue to mention my name and get $125 off the state-of-the-art air purifying system known as iWave. So I'm going to save you, I'm going to do the math on this, 600, 125. I'm saving you $725 on stuff from the best. It's Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. Tell John and Chris that I sent you online, love-hvac.com today.
Message to Amy Spin Class. Happy 3rd, 29th birthday, Amy! Exclamation point. Ha, ha. Balloon emoji. Balloon emoji. Balloon emoji.
You're good at voice to text.
Pizza emoji.
We're good at your insurance. Find an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent online, over the phone, or in person. And stop knocking on wood.
From the beginning, the Indiana Fever have always done things our way. From starting the first professional women's league in the state to raising the trophy as champions.
Beautiful. Is that not fun to watch?
We create our own path, inspiring the next generation in the process. Join us as we write the next chapter, because this is our way, unscripted. Mark your calendars for Tamika's Hall of Fame game at 1 p.m. on Sunday, May 23rd. For ticket information, visit feverbasketball.com.
Andy Moore, Buick GMC, it's in Fishers. I had a conversation over the weekend with my good friend Eric Wilson up there, the general manager. And I said, hey, I was driving by the other day on 37. And I said, you have construction, but the great part about it is, I mean, everybody can see it up there, but it's still really easy to get right in there, slide right into Indiana's Best for the best deals right now. That's 131st and State Road 37 up in Fishers. And here are just a couple of the deals that you can take advantage of. You'll love this truck. That is a GMC Sierra 1500. It's 0% for 72 months. The Buick Encore GX, 19.9. Incredible fuel efficiency, and you can get 0% times 72 months. It's a great thing. Just a couple of the great deals going on. Get with my guy, Eric Wilson. And again, if you see the construction up there, it does not matter. It is still easy, simple to get the best deal in the state of Indiana on a new set of wheels at Andy Moore Buick GMC. Tell him I sent you. 131st and State Road 37. It's easy in Fishers.
Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back. Alice Cooper, live in concert. With special guest, former KISS guitarist Ace Frehley. TCU Amphitheater at White River State Park, September 29th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. The concert return of the year with legendary rocker Alice Cooper. Check more at alicecooper.com.
From the first pitch to the last out, Bet Rivers Sportsbook has all the bases covered. Bet Rivers has a massive number of baseball betting options on each game, including pre-game player props and live in-game betting every inning. Sign up now and get a free play match of 100% on your first deposit up to $250. Bet with a winner. Bet with Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Cubs, Cardinals, Sunday Night Baseball. The coverage begins at 6 on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Look at all those ding-dongs.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Chris Denary was feisty last night on Twitter. We talked to him. That podcast is up, 1075thefan.com. Bowen coming up at the top of the hour, and you guys get the cue before I even had to mention it. August the 28th at Ruoff, Corn and Stained. Have at it right now, my friends. 239-1070. Let's get J-Law in here before the top of the hour. J-Law, what's up?
Hey, JMV, how are you?
Hey, how's the teeth, the mouth, the oral surgery, the football? You were absent from the football the other night. I was concerned.
Yeah, it had a bone graft and stuff, but it's coming along.
Good. Are you going to be good to go this Saturday? Because we missed you.
Hey, I'm batching it. My wife's at a girls' trip, so
oh man,
I'll be at the food bar on my own.
I think I got an email. I got a call from Christy, I think, up in there.
Yes, you did.
On Saturday too. So we rocked that out. So
yeah. But no, I'll be around Saturday. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm glad you're back. What you want to talk about?
Hey, well, first, T.J. McConnell's my favorite. I mean, he's just a buzzsaw, a throwback. He does what plays to his strengths. He doesn't do any more, any less.
Yeah, he just goes. He goes full bore, and I like that. And you know what? Above all else, I mean, he's productive. I mean, he's out there and he's producing on both sides of the floor, and that's fun to watch.
Do they keep like points off turnover, like related to specific players? That'd be interesting to see how many points generated off those turnovers.
Yeah, I agreed. I haven't looked at that. I'm sure they keep a stat for everything. I'm sure that's probably one too.
And then lastly, I was at the track today for practice.
Right.
Man, I tell you what, hearing the sounds of the cars, nothing like it, man.
Hey, J-Law, I was out there on Friday and Saturday, but when I was first out there on Friday at Pagoda Plaza, it felt so good. And it's interesting, the things that we took so for granted that we didn't have for a year that felt so good to get back. And for me, that feeling last Friday was one.
No, it was a blast today out there. I mean, it was a nice little crowd, and the track was open, and it's a great day.
All right, good request coming up on Saturday. Get that Bachelor Food-Bar Lounge crack-a-lackin' on Saturday night, all right?
Will do, sir. Take care.
It's J-Law right there. They call, he and his friends, they have parties on Saturday, and they call, and they are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Always appreciate it. Now, I wasn't wearing a turtleneck during that Colts New Orleans weekend. The turtleneck incident was night before the Packers and the Patriots Super Bowl. What was that? What year was that? 96? Maybe? 96, I think. Nope. Yeah, 97. 96, 97. Or maybe it was the year prior. It might have been the year prior. It was somewhere in there.
It was 97.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a year earlier. I was still rocking the turtleneck. I had a turtleneck. I had my gold chain on the outside of it. Who do you think you're talking to right here? What do you think all the chicks looked at that and then turned the other direction and ran? Who's this? Who do you think you are? They color me bad. All right, Bowen on the other side. Paisley tickets at some point in the 5 o'clock hour. 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
At Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino, we've got something special going on. Get in on the hottest gaming action with the newest slots, live table games, sports wagering, world-renowned harness racing, and more. With millions in jackpots and the excitement of live blackjack, roulette, craps, three-card, poker, baccarat, and more, the winning gets bigger every day. We're turning up the heat on even more winning in May. Make a mad dash for cash on Fridays with more than $20,000 in prizes. Plus, join us on Saturdays for top-of-your-tier drawings to win your share of $40,000 in free slot play. And don't miss out on the world's best harness racing action every Wednesday through Saturday, with Sunday racing starting May 23rd. At Harrah's Hoosier Park, the fun never stops and the excitement never ends. Visit harrahshoosierpark.com for more info. Must be 18 or older to wager on horse racing and 21 or older to gamble at sports books and casinos. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's John for PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com. We get older, and it's just, well, for most folks out there, natural that you lose your hair. And some folks are cool with it, and there's nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with it at all. But if you want the option of your real growing hair again, I am here to tell you about the one and only incredible way that you can get that done. And not only does it save and then regrow your hair, but it maintains that hair growth through PRP as the years go further and further down the road. I mean, it is incredible, the technology here. With Darren Andrews and PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com, from multi-unit hair grafting to artist robotic FUE to laser hair therapy, it is spectacular. And if you want the option of your real growing hair again, call Darren Andrews today at 888-724-5129 and see all about it. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
VAC Commercial Facility Solutions is seeking new talent. If you're an experienced commercial, industrial, HVAC technician, plumber, or sewer and drain specialist and want to join a fast-growing, well-established, opportunity-filled company, VAC is for you. Have a true work-life balance with full benefits and profit sharing as part of a dynamic and energetic team. Call VAC Commercial Facility Solutions at 317-873-2512. That's VAC, 317-873-2512, or go to vac.com.
Hey, BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate. You've seen the Colts home schedule, and you can be a part of the best game day experience possible. It's one thing to go to the game and have fun at the game, see your team win, but it's another to make sure the game day experience from start to finish is awesome. And you do that by attending the best pregame party anywhere. That's the Colts VIP tailgate with all you can eat, all you can drink. And DJ Skids, he's got the mini mixes and the major mixes and the massive mixes all going on inside, outside, and the location is awesome at the Bullseye Event Center right across Capitol from Lucas Oil Stadium. It makes your game day experience the best that it can be. So you've got a lot invested in those tickets. I'm telling you what, if you want a real great investment, get the tickets. Check out tickets for the game as well with my friends online right now. Make it a game day experience with BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Hubler has it, savings. Hubler has it, choices. Hubler has it all.
Hey, Brooke Hubler here with Dan Dockage. It's racing season in Indy, and Hubler is out to win.
Hubler Chevy is racing to buy more cars than ever during our record-breaking summer event.
Bring us your car, and we'll buy it on the spot.
That's right. Hubler will offer you more than you think it's worth.
Plus, we still have huge savings on all your favorite Chevy models and GM-certified pre-owned vehicles.
Hoosiers have trusted Hubler for 60 years. Great people and great service. Hubler has it all.
Plus, new Chevys include our exclusive 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty.
That's a warranty so huge you can drive around the world 8 times and still be covered.
Race into Hubler Chevy to sell your vehicle or shop for a new one. Visit any of our 5 Hubler Chevy locations. roads. Let My Family help yours find new roads.
Call us at 888-221-5101 or click drivehublerchevy.com.
See dealer for warranty details.
It's playoff basketball time. Big stakes, bigger promotions. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a chance to lower the over-under on a featured playoff game. All players who place a bet on the featured basketball game will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. For every 1,500 players who bet the over-under on a select game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. As the line lowers, the odds remain at even money. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code WFNI. When you sign up to hammer the over, for every 1,500 people who bet the over in the feature game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Hammer the over, improve your odds at doubling your money. That's code WFNI for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You got to be 21 or older, Indiana only. Restrictions apply. Max $25 wager, one per customer. Offer ends 5/23/21. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Need new tires? Skip the long appointments and bad coffee. With Go Mobile Tires Indy, order tires online and have them installed at your home or office. GoMobileIndy.com. We come to you.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
If the Pacers win in Washington, they are in the NBA playoffs. Tomorrow night at 7:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Good afternoon to you. Jake Query trackside here for 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan, with this track update brought to you by B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. The professionals in the big black trucks, your American Standard Air dealer. Well, it's been a very busy day here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As a matter of fact, already before we even head into happy hour, we have eclipsed the total number of laps turned at this famed 2.5-mile oval, more so than yesterday, because yesterday, just over 1,740 laps. Today, already over 1,900 laps have been turned by 34 different cars. R.C. Enerson, technically speaking, not listed so far in this practice session today that began shortly after noon, but not to worry. He has been in the car. He passed his rookie orientation just before the session got underway. Scott Dixon, the fastest today, 226.829 miles an hour, just ahead of Connor Daly and Ed Carpenter. Reporting trackside for 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan, I'm Jake Query.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. Co-owner Beth Rovazini has a great suggestion on what you should do if you're not sure whether to repair or replace that old furnace.
Just go to our website, bigbblacktrucks.com, and look for the HVAC Repair Replace Guide. It's a free download, and you fill it out, and then you'll know whether you should do that repair or replace it.
Call B&W at 317-751-2325 or go to bigbblacktrucks.com. B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Ride with JMV.
Collect them, trade them, or just enjoy them.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Paisley tickets coming up this hour. It's the 31st of July. Listen to Win Color 5 when you hear the Paisley re-entry. That is your cue to call. Andy Moore, Automotive Group hotline right now. We heard from a feisty Cristaneri last night from Twitter to, well, the relatively calm, cool, and collected friend of the show, Kevin Bowen of 1075thefan.com. Did you hear the dynamic working? So we're both off on Friday, right? I'm going to Greene County, and then I'm going down to Montgomery to Dinky's Auction Center, to where it's an evening of auctioning from antiques, cows, new tools, fresh produce, to furniture, junk, reptiles, cats, dogs, so much more. I'm going to the auction barn, and Kyle's going to St. Lucia.
I think that fits pretty well with your brand right there.
That is, I am on brand. Yeah, 8 to 10 rings going simultaneously.
So, are you the auctioneer? What are you doing down there?
Can you imagine JMV 88 trying to be an auctioneer? Hey, I'm 5555555. Can you imagine? It'd be terrible. I tell you what, I think those dudes that do that are great. I mean, great. I don't know how they do it, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've been at a couple golf outings where Eddie White is the auctioneer, and I swear he was born to be one.
But he doesn't do it like that though. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Have you ever been an auction like that with an auctioneer?
I think once, but like I feel like, and even Eddie will go there occasionally. You know, some of them it's just part of their shtick. Like,
right,
we're gonna act normal, but then we'll go there just to impress the crowd and whatnot. But there's always this place. I'm pretty sure it's on Lafayette Road that I would always pass going to the Colts complex, where it's just like painted on the side of the building. You know, auction 4:00 every Tuesday. And I always was curious and like kind of wanted to pull in there and go to that, but that would probably be my only true like auctioneer experience. I'm trying to think of it's right there at like, I don't know, 46th and Lafayette, something like that.
I believe Kevy still works there. I don't know how often he's live because I think they voice track everything, but I think Don Stuck still works on the northeast side. At the radio stations over there. I think Don Stuck, Don Stuck. I think I think he's a certified auctioneer. And there's a dude down in Bloomington that I think is the top of the list. His name's Kenny Bland. So you went to IU. I don't know if you ever saw any signs or any signage or advertising for, I think it's Kenny Bland, auctioneer or auction house or something like that. So those guys get work certainly every weekend. There's someplace there where that's going on, and it's pretty good money, I guess, if you're that good.
I feel like Gorman would always go to the one right there on Lafayette Road. He would always tell me about it and try to get me to go to it. So I don't know if that shocks you at all, but yeah, I think Gorman would go there and try to find some crazy deals.
Yeah. Yep, he's doing a lot. There's no doubt about that these days. The Gore man for sure. Hardy says my father is an auctioneer. Just count up to $2.50 or $2.50. Yeah, $2.25, $2.25, $2.50, $2.50. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've always wanted to do it, but I'd mess it up. Yeah,
good.
You drop back. You drop into kind of my Southern Indiana twang thing going. You know, like that. Talk through your nose kind of thing. And, yeah, I've been used to that. I mean, that's how I grew up. So JMV 88 was born. So that is
mine's a track on Friday. Where am I at? Am I in studio? Do we know?
You, I think you're at the track. Yeah.
I was going to say with Fast Friday.
People are going to bring you beers too, man. So you better be ready. Don't wuss out on me. I don't want you. I don't know about that. Don't do any of that. Take it and drink it. They're going to bring you Strohs. They're probably going to bring you Fosters. They'll bring you some really gag-worthy stuff, but it'll be cold, so drink it. Yeah, I mean, like hams. Foster's Australian for beer is awful, I think. I can't stand it. And not only is it awful, but they give you that oil can full of it. And then and my man from Beach Grove brings me Strohs. But, yeah, you bring it and I drink it. That's the philosophy.
Perfect. Sounds like a Friday. That's a perfect way to start the weekend right there.
People are telling me, Andy Mack and Rex says it's Earl's Auction Company that you see on Lafayette Road. Is that it, Earl's?
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, it almost looks like kind of a barn feel to it from the outside, and I should probably pay more attention to what the sign is. But literally just massive, Tuesday at 4:00. And the fact that I've never pulled in there is kind of a disgrace. So I need to put that on the agenda here.
Yeah, buy some livestock or something. Bring home some livestock to the family. Buy a goat. You can put a goat in the backyard, then you wouldn't have to mow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would actually. Well, I kind of enjoy mowing, so I don't know if I would want that.
I love mowing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a donkey. This is a true story. I want a donkey.
I feel like the craze now is everybody gets like chickens. I feel like half my neighbors have chickens.
For farm fresh eggs, exactly. But I've always wanted I've always wanted a donkey. I think donkeys are cool.
On brand. Oh yeah, Laney's riding the donkey around the yard.
He's going to go out and feed the donkey. We'd all point when the donkey takes a dump or something and laugh and giggle and stuff. So anyway, hey, what did you think of the Pacer game last night? A couple of thoughts from me as I started. I thought it was a game, and this has been mentioned. This is not an original thought, but this has been mentioned before, that this was a game that the fans that certainly have stuck with this team all year, that's the type of game they deserve to see when we're talking about a play-in. And I thought it was Doug McDermott. I thought he took, with those 4 threes in the first quarter, kind of took their heart and any sort of inspiration they may have had, which didn't appear to be that much, any of it whatsoever. He took it away with that first quarter he had.
Yeah, he definitely did. I thought he set the tone. It was funny after the game. Malcolm Brogdon pretty much summed it up of like, when you do make shots early, man, it makes things super easy. And I think Terry Rozier missed about 15 wide open threes, and Charlotte certainly looked like a team that was ready for the Caribbean. So, yeah, I thought, it was kind of funny, or I guess, I don't know, funny's probably not the right word, maybe more sad. But when you have the Karis LeVert news, I assume that bumps McDermott into the starting lineup. And, he scores 14 points in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it was over. That game was over. And I get it, NBA games, everybody makes a run. I know Greg Anthony was pleading for it the whole game, but I never got the feeling that Charlotte was ever going to make a run in that game.
Nah, he was just kind of selling people staying around or something.
Right.
He was doing what somebody was telling him in his ear probably, so.
Yeah, and I thought what really summed up the whole game was that first possession of the second half.
Yeah.
Doug goes off, and clearly, James Borrego's telling Charlotte, we cannot let McDermott get a clean look. You've got two Hornet defenders trip and fall for each other, trying to chase McDermott around a screen, and I think it was Brissett wide open for a dunk. And it's just amazing and it is the one dangerous thing about this Pacers team when Justin Holiday and Doug McDermott are in the starting lineup. I mean, those are two guys that can hit 4 or 5 threes in a game, and you're not that shocked by it. Obviously, last night they were in a different, stratosphere, but that is something to where when they get going, putting up 140 doesn't seem that wild. So, yeah, I mean, certainly the fans that have stuck with them deserved last night, and I almost felt bad for the fans that haven't watched them all year due to whatever cable issues you're running into, and then you watch them last night and you're like, wait, where's this been all year long too?
Yeah, it's funny. The best number television-wise they've had all year was last night.
Local?
Yeah, local. Best number they've had all season for any game was last night, locally. I mean, let me see exactly what it did. It was, and I'm not going to, bore people with numbers and ratings and things like that. But
Nielsen ratings will put people
it was over a 6 and easily won the night in local television, plus 29% over the season-long 72-game rating, combined with Bally Sports, ESPN, and TNT. So, I mean, people told me, I talked about this yesterday, they were basically checked out. They were done. Somebody wasn't, because somebody watched that son of a gun last night.
Yeah, and I know he wasn't on the mic, but boy, Chris Teneri certainly did his part on social. Jeez.
I like it when he swings at Nate Duncan, because I don't like Nate Duncan either. He's just a douche. He's a douche of a dude. That's what he appears to me.
Doesn't happen often, but I like a little fiery.
I do too.
Chris Teneri.
Yeah, I do too.
I might try to wiggle him on that flight to Washington, see if he can give a little pregame speech coming tomorrow night about 7:45. But
they're not even doing that tomorrow. I know that's been tough on him. He was probably a little feisty because he wasn't doing the game too, so that probably played a role. And then, I mean, there are a lot of people that follow the NBA that don't really dig on Nate Duncan. A lot of people do like him. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not one of them, and I'm sure Daenerys not.
And, I'll give credit to the post-game TNT crew. I don't know if you watched the Sabonis interview post-game, but I actually felt like Kenny Smith and Charles did a really nice job in just explaining to Domas, really. They kind of put him in an awkward situation, but I thought Domas handled it well, of like, when you are a star, and Charles used the term superstar, I don't know if I'm going to go there, but when you are an elite player in this league, which Sabonis clearly is, you do things like last night where you might score 2 points and a half, but yet your team puts up whatever they did, 66, 68, something like that, because he's such a great facilitator in the half court via his screening and via his ball movement. And he's got exceptional vision, and I think he's a great hockey assist guy as well. And then when you get McDermott playing with him, I just think those two play off each other so well. So, I know in the final box score, he ended up having a triple-double, and obviously it looks great. But even what he did in the first half, yes, it's just 2 points. And, Brogdon hit that early three but didn't really score a whole lot till late. But those two guys are just critical pieces because they do have such great basketball IQ. And when you put some shooters around them, there is kind of a potent ability if Justin Holiday and Doug McDermott, and I guess throw O'Shea Brissett in there as well, their ability to stretch the floor really helps you out.
Did Sabonis he didn't play in the fourth, did he, last night? Sabonis.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he played the whole third.
Would you have sent him back out there to get that final assist?
No. I was that's Nate McMillan would have, but I was pretty glad that they sat both him and I don't have the box score in front of me. There's no way Brogdon played more than 25 minutes. I mean, Brogdon, him resting all last night in that fourth quarter, I thought was huge as well.
Yeah, Brogdon only played 21 minutes last night.
Yeah, that's a super small number. And he admitted after the game, there are times where I can't go in there for rebounds. And I know that there's some limitations with this hamstring. And obviously I think about tomorrow night and just defending those guards. I know Bradley Beal's dealing with his own hamstring issue, but, that matchup on Westbrook, I assume it'll be Justin Holiday, but it certainly has to be a group effort because it's been the furthest thing from that against him this season in those prior matchups. And it seemed like Bjorkgren was a little bit more optimistic on Edmund Sumner today. He didn't play a whole lot last night and got banged up, but I believe he practiced today because Sumner's a guy that I'd throw on, Beal or Westbrook just to try to keep Malcolm Brogdon fresh and not have to have him, chasing either of those guys, whether it's Westbrook downhill or chasing Beal around screens.
So Kevin Bowen with us, 1075thefan.com. This is probably not phrased question-wise very well whatsoever, but I think you'll get the gist of it. It had nothing to do with Brissett, but is O'Shea Brissett, is he found money or fool's gold? Do we know what he can be moving forward? Has he been more a product of the look of this Pacers team and the competition that they've been up against?
Man, that's such an internal question I've had with myself over the past month and a half of what are we seeing here? Is this 10 days turns into a couple of weeks and all of a sudden, it's just a guy on a 9 seed that's giving you something. But man, the more I see it, the more I think it's a rotational player, pretty good basketball.
And that's found money. If he's rotational for these guys, is found money right there.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, John, look at the draft picks over the last 4 years. Yeah. I mean, none of them you feel comfortable as a top 6 or 7 guy.
Everything was euphoric last night except for Aaron Holiday in there. He was a mess.
Yeah.
He looked like me hung over down in New Orleans in December of 2019. He was a mess.
Yeah, that was the old microwave, lukewarm to say the least for Aaron Holiday. And throw all those guys, obviously Leaf or even some of your second-round picks. I know Sumner is a little bit – I think he was the draft before the Kevin Pritchard era. But the fact that I look at O'Shea Brissett and think that can be a rotational player on a playoff team, and I don't know if I can say that about any other of the draft picks. I think Gogo will get there, but, I don't say that 100% right now. Yeah, that is found money. I mean, I think that's a perfect way to describe it. I don't view him as a starter because I don't think that gives you, the best chance to make a run in the Eastern Conference or things like that. But I mean, he's huge. The fact that, you can kind of switch him on to guys. I'm trying to think, was it Giannis last week? Maybe it was somebody else maybe it was Ben Simmons that they switched him on to after halftime. I think they started Justin Holiday. They put Brissett on Simmons. And he did a great job on him, I thought, in the second half. And obviously you don't want to look too far ahead, but, that could be something to look forward to come Sunday if there is indeed a game one. So found money, yeah. Is he a starter? No, I don't think so. If you want to go a little bit smaller, and that I think his skill set is what you want at the 4, though, of a guy that can stretch the floor, kind of an interchangeable guy on the defensive end. Maybe a tick more athleticism if you're going to get a little bit greedy and exactly what you're looking for. But he definitely plays the game the right way, and I've really enjoyed watching him play.
What the hell, you might as well tomorrow night. Is there any sort of defensive wrinkle that could help prolong clearly what were some not so good offensive efforts last night by the duo of Westbrook and Beal. And as you mentioned earlier, and you're right, I mean, Beal obviously is being dogged by that injury of his, but Westbrook, I described Aaron as a mess last night. Westbrook, in his own way, he was a mess last night as well, and that duo was 16 of 43 from the floor. Can you get the type of defensive effort and hope for that 2 nights in a row, or are they going to be back to like normal circumstances against this Pacer D tomorrow?
Yeah, you'd love to have Marcus Smart or somebody of that ilk tomorrow. I thought, obviously, Westbrook didn't do their part, but I thought their other guys around them, they looked a little stage fright to me. Bertans, I mean, boy, he looked like Terry Rozier last night, chucking up those threes and just the inability to make anything. I know they had a couple guys off the bench, but their starting lineup just total non-factors around those two. So I don't know. Is it back at home? Do they play more? They're more comfortable there. Do they find a rhythm? Bertans, I know, is a good shooter, so is he somebody that all of a sudden finds his rhythm? But from a Pacer standpoint, I just don't know you have the personnel. Again, Brogdon, if healthy, he's a guy that you would put on one of them and do it for 40 minutes. But I don't think you have that. That's why I look at a guy like Sumner and I look at Justin Holiday and think they have to be vital. And then I know it sounds super cliche, but boy, it's got to be a team effort. And when Westbrook's driving, you got to pack that paint. And I know the rim protection without Miles is not menacing by any means, but that's got to be there. And yeah, it just has the making of a game of the first one to 120, 130, which I don't know, sounds a bit weird, but the Pacers have put up a lot of points here as of late. And to me, I just don't know what you can do. At zone, I don't know. I think it's swarm Westbrook when he gets in the lane, and I just don't think Beal on one leg can go off for 40 or 50 like he did a couple weeks ago against you.
It's Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com. A couple of Colts questions in just a second. I did want to ask you this because I brought this up earlier. It appears to me that both McDermott and certainly McConnell have elevated their status, I would think, in a free agent market monetarily. Do you think, I guess this is A and B here, do you think the Pacers, A, if they wanted to, can keep them both or bring them both back in the offseason? Or B, do you think the Pacers do want to bring them both back?
I think they'd like to, but I'm not going to act like another financial situation, front and back, but I don't think they can, just because I feel like both guys have played themselves, and particularly Doug has played himself into a really handsome contract. And remember, for a guy that I'm pretty sure is a late lottery pick, I mean, he really has not cashed in that much in the NBA. He signed a nice deal with the Pacers back in 2018, but before that, I mean, he had played for, what was it, 5 teams?
It never been used like this.
4 years.
I guess my point with Doug is this. He's never been used the way that he's been used with Bjorkgren. And if there's one really bright, shining spot to what Bjorkgren has done where somebody, Kev, has taken advantage, it's been McDermott. Because everybody else has always just kind of staked him out on the wing or in the corner, and here we're going to drive and dish, you're going to shoot to 3, or cross-court pass, skip pass, we're going to shoot to 3. Nobody, I don't think, knew of him being able to go and finish at the rim until this year with Bjorkgren. So it kind of makes you wonder if the best value he has, or if it's best for his career to go someplace else where he hasn't been used like this, or stay here as long as Bjorkgren is the coach and be utilized as he has and been, the most productive of his career.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I guess the question is more of in McDermott's, camp of what do you want? I'm pretty sure he turns 30 within the next year. So is it, all right, cash in on a 3-year deal, and maybe the fit's not going to be perfect like you feel like it is here in Indiana, but is that one chance to get that final big payday? Or is it, sign something short-term here, continue to thrive, and then cash in a little bit more? Because He shot it well, but he hasn't shot it like extraordinarily well this season. But like you said, his ability to get downhill and finish at the rim, you forget this is a 6'8", 6'9" guy that put up tons of points in college. And I know I've brought this up before, but it really stood out to me. I think it was probably just last year. I think Dan had on Greg McDermott, and mentioned how, boy, I would love for Doug to continue to play with T.J. McConnell and Domantas Sabonis wherever they go, because those two guys just do an exceptional job at getting McDermott clean looks. And I'm talking clean looks behind the arc or clean looks to get downhill. Now, this is more so, I think, when Domas is, primarily in that second unit, along with playing the starters, and obviously Doug and TJ were in that second unit. But those two guys as well should be commended for knowing what a weapon they have in McDermott and finding him early in games and finding him in multiple ways as well. So Bjorkgren, he has helped him, I think, become a complete guy to where it's not just this dead-eye shooter that he appears so much on the scouting report. But I also feel like T.J. McConnell and Domantas Sabonis do an extraordinary job in just getting him open. So I think a lot will depend on what those guys want. What do they want at their point in their careers? Because in terms of a contract year, both of them have made themselves quite a bit of money.
I guess what stands out to me is you look in his past and his 3-point shots attempted per game, it is relatively the same, but his 2-point shots attempted per game has been elevated this year well beyond any other point in his career. And essentially, you look at his average, and his average is up, and you get all that. Offensively, he's just a better player, and it's tough to not give Nate Bjorkgren in this system credit for what McDermott has become mostly off the bench for this team and how he's been able to play. And you're right in mentioning both McConnell and Sabonis, because the two-man game, one of the most fun to watch about this Pacer team is when you get both McDermott and Sabonis working together in the two-man. I mean, that's enjoyable.
Agreed. That is a fun part. And I think, Bjorkgren deserves some credit offensively for how this team has looked, because, some personnel has been in and out, and he hasn't had, any sort of an ideal situation. But offensively, they put up some pretty good numbers. So while there's been struggles defensively, there's struggles behind the scenes, clearly. This is an offensive, and I think individually, you've seen the players really blossom. And again, he's doing it, without TJ Warren and without a shooting guard giving you, 18 points for about half the season as well.
So Kevin Bowen with us. Were you a part of the interview situation here locally with Paris Campbell earlier?
I was. Yep.
I'm assuming you're saying all the right things. I mean, he's an engaging dude. I really like talking to him, and I hope for the best. And I know he's been cleared, and he's healthy and good to go. How skeptical are you with him being injured again? I mean, it's always tough not to be skeptical about it, but in his answers today, did he give you any reason why maybe this year might be different?
I don't think he's done anything that different physically. I guess if you're one that believes in jersey number changes, he's changed to 1 from 15. So I don't know, maybe you believe something in that. But he really harped a little bit more mentally on just like, what I can't do is think about injuries and then play timid or nervous, because that's not his game. I mean, his game is full throttle speed and being one of the fastest guys on the field, if not the fastest. So, again, physically, he's cleared. He's 100%. But I mean, seems like such a great kid and everything, and a nice guy and whatnot. But like, I wouldn't be betting on him to stay healthy. It's just. And predicting injuries is an impossible thing to do, but it's been all over his body. It's been freakish stuff. It's been, a little bit of soft tissue to start his NFL career, and then it's a hernia, and it's a broken hand or finger, I think it was, maybe in that Tampa game. And then obviously last year, when you look at that hit that Harrison Smith had on him in week 2, you got to think that's a hit that would knock anybody out for the rest of the season. So it's just weird. I mean, hell, he got in a car accident coming to training camp one day, and he's in concussion protocol. So it's just wild stuff with him. It's amazing when you look back on it how little he's played. I wrote something on him earlier today, and if you go back to his first month in the NFL, he's only caught passes in 3 games since then. So if you go back to September of his rookie season, he has played, I think, in 5 games, and 2 of those he got hurt really early, and then 3 of them he caught passes. And if you look at how many games the Colts have played in that span, they've played like 27 or 28 games in that span. So it's just he's such a key ingredient for this offense taking a jump. He's so important because he's different than really any other wideout they have in terms of skill set. But I'd be foolish to sit here and say that I'm betting on him playing in a 16-game season. Again, I mean, from what you see in these videos, we'll find out tomorrow because we can go out there. He looks healthy, but given what the injury history has been in the NFL, not so much college. College, he was really healthy, but in the NFL, it just seems like every time he gets going, even in a small dosage, he gets banged up, and it's rather significant as well.
All right, it seems like that the Colts have figured out in closing here how to utilize, finally, last year, Nyheim Hines. And they did. I think 89 rushes overall on the season. He was targeted 76 times. Do you think that's going to be the same, or will one maybe lose out to the other? Maybe the rushes by virtue of what they're going to have in the backfield or receiving if somebody like Paris Campbell ends up staying healthy throughout the season. Does that take anything away from Nyheim Hines? Because you know what I'm going to say, it shouldn't.
Right. It shouldn't. And honestly, Nyheim Hines, I know running backs don't get second contracts before their end of their rookie deals. It's just how a lot of NFL teams operate. He deserves it, in my opinion. This dude hasn't missed a practice or a game in the NFL, which is incredible for that position, especially 3 years into it. I think his numbers are going to go down, John. Again, I don't necessarily agree with it, but a couple things stick out to me. First, you mentioned the health of Campbell, assuming he's healthy. Second, obviously, the return of Marlon Mack. And then third, Phillip Rivers, that dude didn't throw the ball away. Now, part of it was because he couldn't even scramble enough to really throw the ball away, but his throwaways were to Hines or, to other running backs. I mean, he would get rid of it and just kind of dump it off, and that would be how he would, kind of give up on a play. But obviously, Hines is a huge, huge guy to benefit from that. How much is that triggered into Carson Wentz's mind? Does Frank Reich try to trigger it a little bit more into his mind of, like, you have this great safety valve there in Nyheim Hines? So for those reasons, I just am not expecting it to stay the same. But I think if you look at last season, especially how he came on as a runner, like if you look, I don't have it in front of me, but if you look at his yards per carry, I'm willing to bet last year was probably the highest of his career. And that was really important for him to take that next step as a runner because he hadn't done that even when guys like Marlon Mack and Jordan Wilkins were having great success behind that offensive line. So I think Frank gets how important he is. But, again, when you factor in Mack, Campbell, and just who your quarterback is, I can't see it adding up to that.
Yeah, yards per rush last year was up a little bit, a tick up more than it was certainly in 2019. You were I was perplexed, and I remember talking to him, and I used to all the time kind of get in here and go, hey, start utilizing him. Why aren't you utilizing? To the point where he said, yeah, I know my family listens and they hear you saying that all the time, but it appeared that they finally got wind of it over at the complex and started utilizing him the way that he should. I think he's a piece for what Frank Reich wants to do that is going to be invaluable this year. I do.
Yeah, and I mean, him and Campbell are two guys that you put the ball in their hands and they do something with it. And as much as T.Y. Hilton has been a really good wideout, his yard after catch has never really been a big part of his game.
Right.
So, obviously Pittman showed that he can help you out there, but I think those two, it's a low-risk touch to both of them, and then potentially a high reward when guys like Campbell and Hines are touching the football.
So Kevin Bowen's going to be on for me coming up on Friday. He'll be out at IMS in Pagoda Plaza for you. So bring him many beers and make sure that he drinks them. But uses caution and stays responsible, but drinks them when you give them to him out there. So have fun, buddy.
Do I need to start looking up Mike Wells' reentry for Friday then?
You should, yeah. Go ahead and go with your own. I mean, I can give you guys one, but go with your own. Yes.
All right. I got it.
Go with your own, and he'll love that. Kev, I appreciate it. Thanks again for Friday.
You bet, John. I'll talk to you next week.
Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com. I'm way over. My apologies. I'm back with you next.
Mortgage interest rates have started to rise. At the Home Loan Expert office, we are still locking loans in the twos. How much can you save? TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
NMLS number 1326241.
My name is Bill McQueen, and I own Perry Acoustics, a construction company here in the great state of Indiana. Each year, some construction companies misclassify their employees as independent contractors and illegally pay them cash under the table. That puts companies like mine that pay a good living wage and employee benefits at a major competitive disadvantage. These companies rob our state of over $400 million a year. Imagine what could be done for Hoosiers with that money.
Visit indianacip.com/taxfraud to learn how together we can tell them to stop stealing from Hoosiers.
Hey, John, for CarX, Central Indiana locations, 13-14, I think, right now, under the watchful eye of the best, and that is Joe Childers. Right now, it is the Road Ready month of May specials that are going on, and let me tell you, that $19.99 AC inspection, necessary. Brakes, $89.99 per axle for a one-year warranty, $109.99 per axle for a lifetime warranty. It is the absolute best for your car, truck, or van to make sure things are rolling okay going into the warm summer months ahead. Tell Joe that I sent you. My man Micah is over at the Plainfield location. Central Indiana locations nearest you. To find it, it's CarX.com today.
Android users, BetRivers Sportsbook is ready for download in the Google Play Store. Just search for BetRivers and download the app. It's never been easier to get in the game. You'll enjoy the ease of use and critical speed of the new BetRivers Android app. Bet with a winner. Download the BetRivers Android app in the Google Play Store today. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, John for Diamonds Direct. All right, this summer, you've got a big deal, an anniversary, a birthday, maybe a graduation that is coming up, and you want to trip this light fantastic. Or if you're taking the relationship with your significant other next level and you need an engagement ring and you need the best, it's Diamonds Direct for you. Nobody will do it better. I'm telling you what, the selection is absolutely unmatched. The price tag, nobody comes close. The education that you're going to get, they take you behind the curtain to see exactly what's going on. They cut out the middleman to save you money and give you warranties and guarantees that in that business, especially here, absolutely unmatched. So, if you're doing any of those following and you need a big-time gift-giving idea, one place and one place only, that's Diamonds Direct. Look them up, store hours, locations, and more, diamondsdirect.com. It's Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing.
Brad Paisley, Tour 2021.
Just another American Saturday night.
Saturday, July 31st, Ruoff Music Center. With special guests, Jimmy Allen and Cameron Marlowe. Country music superstar Brad Paisley Live. Reserved seat tickets on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Hey Indy, Tim Pierson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey. After years of developing hundreds of malt-forward bourbon recipes at our distillery in downtown Chattanooga, we established Chattanooga Whiskey 91, our own style of bourbon we call Tennessee High Malt. At 91 proof, this 4-grain, 3-malt, Solera barrel finished bourbon with tasty notes like sweet tea and honey toast is simply one of a kind. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey 91. Enjoy responsibly.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free for hims.com/radio. That's right. Free, zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/radio. That's forhims.com/radio for your free online visit. forhims.com/radio.
VC Commercial Facility Solutions is seeking new talent. If you're an experienced commercial, industrial, HVAC technician, plumber, or sewer and drain specialist and want to join a fast-growing, well-established, opportunity-filled company, VC is for you. Have a true work-life balance with full benefits and profit sharing as part of a dynamic and energetic team. Call VC Commercial Facility Solutions at 317-873-2512. That's VC, 317-873-2512, or go to VC.com. You're good at being you. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance is good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
The Ride with JMV.
Coming up, our conversation.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Running out on the field for the senior game, wearing number 17. There's a last time for everything.
Hey, welcome back, Denary. Kevin Bowen just with us, 1075thefan.com. That's where you can find the podcast right there. Tomorrow's show, Mike Chappell, per usual, tomorrow. I think I'm going to work in Alex Golden of Setting the Pace tomorrow, too, if you want to do that. And Nyheim Hines of the Colts. We were just talking about Nyheim Hines of the numbers a year ago. Will he get as many touches on the run? As many targets through the air as he did this past year? Maybe all dependent upon who's healthy and who isn't, but he was certainly productive a year ago. Nyheim Hines of the Colts joins us coming up on tomorrow's show. And cannot wait for that. Chase Wilson asked me this. Apparently, I'm sorry, wrong one, Chase. This is Chase's original question. Could the ratings boost be because streaming service subscribers like me could actually watch the game for once? Apparently, I didn't know this, and Denary told me a little bit earlier that those that cut the cord, those streaming services are not a part of the Nielsen ratings. So that's what Chris said a little bit earlier. So apparently that was, DirecTV, whatever else you guys watch it by last night. And we brought it up because last night was the highest ratings number for a Pacer game this season. So thank you, Chase, and that is why. Yeah, I know. O'Shea Brissett did look good last night. There's no question about that. And again, it's not a backhanded compliment to ask, but I think it's worthy of asking. Is it because he's found money? Or because it is schedule situation-oriented fool's gold? It sounds like a Connecticut water question of the day at some point. Listen, I hope for the sake of the Pacers it's found money. They need it. That would be fantastic. Just kind of curious what the fans out there think regarding O'Shea Brissett, who had a fantastic night last night for real in that 144-117 win over the Hornets. 23 points and 5 rebounds for Brissett. Found money, or a byproduct of the schedule and necessity/circumstances. All right, quick break, and we'll return for a final time. I mentioned tomorrow, Nyheim Hines. We'll get Alex Golden on here and Mike Chappell, all coming up for you. Kevin Bowen's in for me coming up on Friday. In fact, both Kyle and I will be out. Kevin's going to be out as well, but out with you at Pagoda Plaza, which should be a blast coming up on Friday with 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
It's racing season in Indy, and Hubler is out to win. During their record-breaking summer event, they're racing to buy more cars than ever before. Visit drivehubler.com.
Kids, tell your parents about Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Siri, read me that text. Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it. Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ray Hobbs, business manager of Labor's Local 741. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Hey, it's John for Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing at 317-284-9526. Just keep in mind any plumbing situations that might arise. And again, you'll get sideswiped by most of these. Always keep Lance's number handy at 317-284-9526 for anything large or small emergencies 24/7, 365. But this is also a shout to those that may want to change a pace in their career. Right now, Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing, they are looking to fill what is an open slot right now for a plumbing service technician. You get a sign-on bonus, health, life, vision, dental insurance, profit sharing, matching 401k, continuing education paid for, and personal development. And plus, we're talking about this. Lance and his team at LD Smith Plumbing, they're local. They're local folks, and they're the best. So if you're thinking about that change of pace, this is good. A plumbing service technician with Lance and his team. And tell them that I sent you at 317-284-9526 if you're thinking about making that career change. That's 317-284-9526 or online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Listen up, Class A CDL drivers. Pepsi Beverages North America is hiring in Indianapolis. This is your chance to work for a Fortune 50 company and experience all the great pay and benefits that go along with it. Join the team and you'll have the opportunity to receive up to a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Great benefits, target pay of $70,000 plus, and be home every night. Not to mention you'll be working with new equipment. Take the first step toward your future. Apply online today at PepsiCoJobs.com.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg. Some things are going back to the way they belong.
The race is back in May.
That's right, Brian, and we've got pole position on the best deals. Right now, the EcoSport Edge, Escape, and Explorer are all up to $9,000 off.
All May, save up to $9,000 on SUVs.
Brian is peeling out because we've never offered $9,000 off our best-selling SUVs.
EcoSport Edge, Escape, and Explorer. Epic! Burn rubber into Bill Estes Ford and save big.
Want more? Trade or sell your car to us and we'll give you up to $2,000 more. With over 200 premium pre-owned vehicles, we have the best selection. And we drive you over the finish line with 99% financing approval.
We got the checkered flag on savings.
Brian, stop pouring milk on yourself. There's milk everywhere.
I just won this thing.
In the race to savings, our customers are the winners, Brian, and you need a pit stop and change out of those clothes. Finish first in SUV savings. All May, save $9,000 and get $2,000 more for your trade. Your key is waiting at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg.
It's finally time to get outside, but it's also the time when new or old injuries can start up. You know, that nagging tightness in your hips or those strains in your knee. Maybe it's also the time to start Athletico Physical Therapy. Instead of going to your doctor first, start with physical therapy. With no prescription needed, their team of experts will find the source of your pain and start healing it before it progresses, so you can finally live pain-free.
It all starts at Athletico Physical Therapy. Schedule your free assessment with athletico.com. No prescription needed in most states.
Hey, shout out to Connecticut. It's Joe, John, and Dennis, and the best water possible out there. Premier Series water softener, in-home drinking water station, and again, availability for a new career path if you need it. If you're looking for a job right now, you're good with tools, with your hands, figuring out problems. They are hiring service technicians right now with Connecticut Water Systems. Multiple positions are available for you at Connecticut. That's Connecticut online for all the information you need and to set up an appointment and or an interview today. That's ConnecticutIndy.com.
Amazon is hiring near you, and it literally pays to start now. Get a sign-on bonus up to $1,000 on top of competitive wages. You'll do important work, learn new skills, and get orders ready as part of a dedicated team. So find a job with benefits that fits your life, full-time or part-time, day or night, and start now to get a sign-on bonus up to $1,000 before they're gone. Let's work together. Visit Amazon.com/sign-on bonus. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Circle K is America's thirst stop. And yours, especially when the weather gets... and you need to stay refreshed on the go with ice-cold Circle K favorites like freshly ground iced coffee, Froster, Polar Pop Cup, and more. And right now at Circle K, score with 28-ounce Gatorade. Any flavor, 3 for $5. When life's go, 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 make us your first stop. Because Circle K is America's thirst stop.
Hey, it's JMV for Love Heating and Air Conditioning, 317-353-2141. As we get warmer here, let's just say you feel you need an AC unit. All new, in fact. Well, through May, Love is going to give you the opportunity to take $600 off the purchase of a high-efficiency air conditioning system. Call them, 317-353-2141. Also, get that free second opinion with Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. Online, love-hvac.com today.
It's no secret that the housing market is red hot. Get a leg up on the competition and get pre-approved now. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
NMLS number 1326241.
The Ride with JMV.
You're going to eat your fat.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Kristen Neri a little bit earlier. It was really good. Pacers win over the Hornets last night, moving on to play in Washington coming up tomorrow. Jeff says this, I have YouTube TV and the Nielsen ratings are built in, so they are included. We will have to debate that some other time. But yeah, Daenerys said they weren't. Anyway, all good. Daenerys Bowen, 107.5, thefan.com. Naheem Hines, Alex Golden, Mike Chappell on tomorrow's show. You guys have been fantastic. Shout out to the lounge as well. Kyle, great job from you. 93.5, 107.5, 1070 The Fan. Talk to you tomorrow at 3.
Circle K is America's thirst stop. And yours, especially when the weather gets... and you need to